we should be going live. So hopefully we're live now because it says we're going live. And so now we're live. But I'm sure they already heard us saying we think we're going live. Hey, everybody. I hope you're doing well. Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with the lovely and talented Kathy Wolters. And today we're having a little travel chat. We're back at Mom's house. My nephew has a birthday, so we came over to give him a gift and thought we'd come and say hi to Mom. So we thought we'd bring her in. And for those of you looking for Jocelyn, she's upstairs about on her way out to go babysit the nephew for a birthday gift for my sister-in-law, because, you know, that is actually a great birthday gift to give to a person with a 1-year-old. It's like, hey, you know what? The baby's turning 1. We'll take the baby from you. So it's like a good gift. It's like a gift to the mom or the dad or whoever. So there is that. So good to see a lot of people on here. Ryan's on. Tony, good to have you on here. Glad you could join us. Travel with Nick P is on. Olivia. Maureen, good to see you.
Hi, Tony.
Mark Finley. Mo, good to see you, buddy. I'm glad we could have a time where you don't have to be in bed watching this, like, in the dark, like, keeping your roommates awake with the light on. Tony says, hi, Mom.
Hi, Tony.
Cheesy Kolachki, I could totally go for one of those right now. Good to see you there. Sue, always a pleasure. ASU, anyway, I have not been to Myanmar. We will eventually get there. You haven't been, no. You have not been there. No. But that's longer down the road, because right now all of our travel stuff, just like everybody's travel stuff, is so up in the air. It's crazy. So I don't know what's going to happen. We were hoping to try to get some new places in the U.S. this fall. We'll see if that gets to happen or not. But yeah, it's going to be a while until we get some really crazy, fun traveling stuff going on. Travel the world. Good to see you on here. Joseph John, hey, from Ohio. Good to see you. Ema in Maryland. A pleasure. Oh, bye, Cheesy. Thanks for stopping by for a bit. Billy Rubin, what's up, my friend? You always have to say the hi introductions at the beginning, then we'll get started, So those watching the replay, maybe skip in about 5 minutes, and then we'll start getting to some questions and stuff. Laura's on here. Hey, Laura. Liz is on there. Hey, Liz. Yeah, so your live feed. So those who know, Means to Travel does a live feed every week. And they were having a little technical difficulty. Well, I was having technical difficulties here because it'd be like 2 seconds of them moving, and then they'd freeze for 10 seconds, but the audio still worked. Yeah. So hopefully we don't have that problem here, but we usually will. Kreso Pavlicek, good to see you on here. Luis Nunez, always a pleasure. Sticky mess. I wish I had the confidence in my voice that you have. That's the thing, is confidence in speaking. It's like confidence in speaking foreign languages. Sometimes you just got to do it. Just talk, and then you just talk and you don't worry about other people. It just makes it a lot easier for it to come out. So, the gals are on here. Hey, girls or gals. Hope you're doing well. Oh, Marie McKinnis, 3 minutes left at work. I'll listen later when biking. Sounds good. Good to see you, Marie. Ema, we will start with your question. Ema asks, what do you miss the most about traveling? Mom, what do you miss the most?
Meeting new people, seeing places, just the experience of being there, going to a bar.
Yeah, I miss going to a bar.
Somewhere different.
It's fun. I don't really go to the bar at home, but when I go travel, we go to the bar because it's a great place to meet people and just people watch, listen to music, stuff like that. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're in Tokyo like Kiyoshi, or you're in Ohio or Canal do Muro in Lisbon. It's just one of those things. You go and you chill out, and you can just relax. You have a drink. I know, like, for us, there's this bar we go to in Paris, which is near where we stay and where we always go eat, and we just sit there. They have it like, when they did like the retro pinball machines to make it look like for movies from the 80s. So they have a Ghostbusters one. The boys sit and play. They have a CD jukebox, so we'll put like $10 in. And then we just sit there and drink wine and beer. And the guys are there. They actually know us now because I've gone, like, you're the only tourist that comes in here and speaks or tries to speak French. And so we appreciate that. So there's got to be some free wine over the years. So I just miss things like that. Purdue's in Indy. Good to see you over there. Musing to Midlife. A pleasure to have you back. Catalina in España. Hola. ¿Cómo te va? I don't know. For me, missing, like you said, the meeting the people and just being out and exploring. I know, like, I've been doing a lot more. The new videos you've been putting out have been things we've been filming this summer, like road trips and the beach and travel restrictions and stuff like that. So I haven't done a lot of the usual, like, Don'ts of France. Like, I was hoping to get the Don'ts of France out for Bastille Day, but
yeah.
yeah, the computers are not being very helpful for us these last few weeks. So I missed out on that one, but it's like I did a video on Amboise, in Amboise, in France, and I just remember putting it together, and I'm like, and it just like every little bit hurts, and so on what was it, Wednesday? No, we came on Wednesday. So Tuesday I folded like our 9 loads of laundry and put them away. Hey, because there's always to fold it and then you just like throw it back in there because people come. So we got that away, and so I was watching like Chris from Yellow Productions, I was watching some RV stuff because I thought about it for a sec, and then I went and priced it out, and I'm like, oh, I don't know about that. It was like I saw one; it was going to be about $7,000 for 34 days, and I'm like, ooh, that's a bit steep for me. So, but it was interesting.
I'm thinking about a trip to Ohio, or just to get out for somewhere, maybe 10 hours.
Yeah.
Spend the night, come back.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like on our trip down to Georgia, the Hilton properties we stayed at, I mean, I felt comfortable with their cleaning procedures in the rooms, but we also still clean down our stuff. We actually have a video on what to expect in hotels when you travel this summer in the U.S. I should do that, and then we have a vlog of our road trip down there, so you can see some of the stuff we saw. And then we have the don'ts of road trips, which I'm putting together, so that should be hopefully one of the videos next week. And then I've been filming the don'ts of a staycation. So that's going to be actually a serious one, but also a kind of a fun tongue-in-cheek one too, because there are things you can actually get a lot out. And I think one of the things with staycations, a lot of people, when they do it, they just kind of make it like, oh, I'm just not going to work today. I'm like, no, when you do a staycation, you got to have a different kind of attitude, because it's not just doing the same things you usually do without going to work, because that's just a weekend. What it is let's plan some other stuff, like maybe actually go to the museum in town that has one, or go to the park. I mean, because we have some state parks across the way. We could go to Missouri, or we can go to Hannibal, or we can go, where we live is by Allerton Park. It's the place to go hike. You find those things. Because one thing I've seen over the years of traveling, we visit our friends, a lot of times people you visit in a town are not really good guides because they live there, so you don't go see the things, It's the tourists that come in that know all these things. So sometimes it's good being a tourist in your own backyard, and then when people ask you, hey, we're coming to town, what should we do? You have stuff to tell them. So some stuff
I think that's an excellent idea, is just to go explore where you live, because there's always something different. I want to go over to Pike County because Pittsfield has this great museum that I heard about. Somebody said, and over there they've got lemon ice cream. So it's like, over in Pittsfield.
We used to do that. We got that back in the day. The Pittsburgh ice cream. Maybe not with you, but
maybe not with me, but
yeah, we did that. When you're in high school and you're like, random stuff to do. Let's go drive 45 minutes. Hello in Greece.
Ooh.
Yes, we're here. My friend in Rune. It is the best place to be, is in a bar. Let's see. Paul Tipton, good to see you, buddy.
Morning.
Oh, Marisa. Hi there, America, but living in Italy practically forever. Oh, I am so jealous of you. I'm so jealous. As the kids would say, #jelly. Or at least they used to. Who knows? Let's see. Tony's asked me if I've ever been to Madeira in Portugal. So that is one of the things that we had, like, shoot ourselves in the foot not going to Madeira and the Azores. Actually, my old roommate, she is married to a guy from Madeira, and they actually moved there. So we need to go see them. So that's definitely one there. Let's see. Thomas, we have not been to Vietnam, but that's also on the list. Oh, no, you guys went to Thailand. But Vietnam is one of the places we're actually going to be going for. Hey, X-Tech in Iran, or Iran. How am I supposed to say? Iran? I think it's Iran. Because you always hear different on the news. So I hope you're doing well, my friend. Jacqueline in Toronto, fantastic city. If you're looking for a big city in the U.S. to enjoy, I think
Canada.
Oh, sorry, Canada. Sorry, not just Canada, but North America. Like, Toronto's one of the top 3 big cities.
Good morning, everyone.
So Jocelyn, see, look, she was there. She's alive. I didn't hurt her or anything like that, because people always freak out when these things are there. And you notice at the bottom it says Jocelyn will be back for our next Whiskey Wednesday on August 5th at 8 p.m.
Oh,
so
really?
Yes, you will be.
Look, Kalimata. Or Kalispera, I guess.
Yeah.
Spera there. Okay, love you. We'll see
Bye,
you guys
have
later.
fun.
Bye. Have fun.
Bye, y'all.
So, Thank you, Mo, for pointing out hitting the like button. We appreciate it, everybody. If you could hit the like button, it's always a nice thing. It's funny, for those of you that watch Yellow Productions with Chris, he does travel vlogs as well, and he always talks about his live feeds are really bad for subscriptions because people like unsubscribe all the time. Like honestly, we'll lose about 100 subscribers per live feed, but you know, it's okay because we want to do this. I love doing these things. So we've met so many friends over here, like Liz from Means to Travel, Musings of Midlife, Baggy T. Hey, what's up, buddy? En route to the pub. Oh, hashtag jelly. It's on there. Oh, hey, Rob from Trip Hacks is on. Good to see you, buddy. No, we live in the U.S. right now. Let's see. So Sahil, hey, good to study. My buddy Sahil, he's studying in the Netherlands. Well, so for those of you who don't know, my main computer I like to use for rendering because it's a lot more powerful. Blue screen of death to black screen of death to multiple blue screens of death to reset to an early position, reset to another early position, not turning on. I somehow finagled it so I could get some files off there. I had backed up like most of our stuff, so I wasn't really too worried about it, but it's like you don't have a computer that can really render. So I got it off to do the beach video on my backup computer that we're using right now, which doesn't have the same kick it used to. But it was funny because that happened Wednesday morning and we left to come here on Wednesday. So it was one of those things like, I'm just walking away. And it's sitting on my desk at home waiting for me to start crying and yelling at it and cursing at it. So there's that. Mr. Blonde and Jimmy UK, good to see you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nick P. itching to get back on the road. Nick's been sharing a lot of pictures of some of his other road trips, really fun stuff, getting a lot of ideas. That's one of the nice things is you're seeing a lot more people focus on their local areas, so you're getting a lot of kind of different spots. I mean, you're seeing a lot of van life videos and stuff like that, but you're seeing a lot of like local things because people are going out like Gabe from Gabriel Traveler. He's in Croatia now, but he was going around where he lived and showing a lot of stuff. And so you're seeing people like exploring their areas, which is giving a new perspective on things. Now, I know for those creators, it's tough because, you know, me doing a video on Hannibal, Missouri or something like that is not going to get a ton of views, but it's something interesting people might like. So you're going to have a much smaller audience for these videos, but at least it's new content that's out there that can get people to kind of explore things. So there is that. Yeah, so Mr. Chills a lot. Yeah, the computer, let's see. Yeah, Stu's saving money for when it's safe to travel. Good idea. Darian, how you doing, buddy? Oh, just jumped for us. So anyone, see, it's funny. Darian had a live feed. That's the German travel guide. And it kept jumping on him. And I'm like, see, it's not as easy when it's not you, huh? Hey, Jacqueline, Toronto's not open yet. Please stay home. Yeah, it's not open. Any of these places, nothing's really open. It's just like in the future. Toronto's actually a really great place to visit for a big city. You know, like honestly, there's a few sports museums in the world that are really great, even if you don't like sports. One is the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum in Kansas City, Missouri. That is a fantastic museum. You don't even have to like baseball to love it. Then the other one is the Hockey Hall of Fame in Toronto. Like you don't even have to like hockey to really love that Hall of Fame. So when you're there, definitely worth checking out. Hey, Sawa. Oh, Paul Tiffin's going ziplining on Wednesday. Oh. Good luck, my friend. Let's see. Mr. Blonde loves your chime in the background, Mom.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So the letters over here are a little small for certain eyes.
Certain eyes, you know, I mean, they're bigger than they are on my little screen when I'm watching you guys on my phone, but I just have to sneak in here a little closer to get what y'all are saying.
Yeah. Oh. Ronnie just got back from Pennsylvania, hoping to go back in September. Very nice. Tom Shader, damn it, a live feed. I think I should unsubscribe. Seriously, it's what it's like. And I've like Chris talked about that on Yellow Productions, and I never really talk about it, but it's funny because I know tomorrow I'll have probably negative subscribers overall for the day, because that's what usually happens on these. And we were doing those like all the live feeds. You know, when the quarantine first started, we were doing Whiskey Wednesday and a Saturday thing. We did it for all of March, or the second half of March, all of April. And then we just went to Whiskey Wednesdays through May, and all the ones you see this big crash. It was, but hey, you know what? I'm glad we did it because it's really fun to meet people. Leo F in the house. Leo's got a fun Instagram channel if you want to check it out. A lot of like put the camera up and you just see life go by for in the high speed version of it. Like, I don't know what they call that, but it's really kind of a fun one. So Marie McKenna says, how are you coping and taking your mind off not traveling, Mark? Well, I've filmed all the videos for an entire 16-week class.
There you go.
And that's done. And now I'm filming all the videos for another theoretical 16-week class that I might teach one day.
Maybe.
And then I'm prepping another class that I used to teach that I might film all the videos for that, for the Professor Wolters channel, to do that, to keep myself somewhat busy, because, yeah, it's tough. Like, it's just tough. Even the kids are like, they're getting restless, and it's tough because, you have kids that have been stuck inside for 6 months.
Well, it's a good time to explore some new hobbies, even though people, even if you can just take off on something that you're interested in, at least it gives you something to focus on.
Yeah, and I think it's weird because, like, if you look at the quarantine overall, you had March, early April, we were all scared. And then April, we were like, okay, let's start doing things. Then May was like, okay, I get this is kind of regular. Then June, when the cases started spiking up again, people got worried, and so now it's kind of like reverted back. And it's funny because I remember when this first happened, like, we had spring break and everything shut down like the Friday we were supposed to go. So we were home, like, well, I have a week off of work anyway from teaching. So, like, clean the garage, clean the basement. And it's funny because now I'm like, why don't I have that early quarantine energy to get more stuff done?
Well, that's because now you've been in it for
you've
been 4 months.
Yeah, and you're just
it's like that basement is still calling me.
Yes. Your basement. Yes,
I have made progress.
I went downstairs to get a chair. I'm too scared. So traveling the world, out of the countries in Europe you haven't visited, which are you most excited to visit after COVID? So the ones I haven't visited, basically you've got that. What's left is like Serbia, Bulgaria, Ukraine, Andorra, Albania, and Macedonia. I think those are the only ones. And then
maybe
Turkey.
Some islands. What about?
Well, no, they're like places I haven't been.
Oh, okay.
So there's only like 7 or 8 places in Europe I haven't been. So that's one there. And it's funny because we were looking at it, and part of our trip this summer was we thought about going like Italy down to Greece, but instead of like flying, we're going to go through the Balkans, and then we would have got Macedonia, Albania, Bosnia, Serbia. Because I'll be honest, like the places we get the most like go to that we haven't gone to yet is Serbia and India are the 2 ones that come up the most, and Israel. The ones that come up the most, and those in Israel we were supposed to go in November, that got canceled. So we're supposed to go in June, and that got canceled. India, we're waiting. So my buddy Dewey, we want to go visit him, but he's doing his PhD in the U.S. right now. So when he finishes, he's going back because his parents have a business there, so he's going to work for them. So he's like, wait until I get back, and then we'll have a good time. I'm like, all right, no problem.
Yeah,
so
I'd like to go to India.
Yeah, so and the thing is, when we go to India, we talked about this before. We don't want to go for like a week. We want to go for like a month to really see. I mean, I don't know if you'll go for the whole month. I mean, if you want to go that long, because my parents like about 2 weeks. That's your dad's limit.
That's your dad.
My dad's limit is about 2 weeks. So, but that's one of those places we'd really want to spend a lot of time. Food's so good.
Yeah, it's a big country.
So Sahil's going to school in the Netherlands in Delft. And visited Leiden, Kinderdijk, and a bit of Rotterdam here. Nice, very nice. Let's see. Lynn Stevens, looking for a good but unofficial local guide. Check out your local historic preservation folks or your local history librarians. Yes,
definitely.
Talk about the people in Scotland that were helping you out with the genealogy stuff.
They have a fabulous Scottish museum. I mean, it's not a museum. It's actually where you can do all your family history because it's like it's a genealogy source for years, and you can look at the birth records for your ancestors 2-3 generations back. You can buy a subscription, and you can go in there, and there are people who will actually guide you, and you've got access to computers and records that and you can do a lot of research right here from your home, wherever you live.
Yeah. And if you're looking for guides, like they were saying, is you'd be surprised how much those people know, and they'll be like, oh, and there's been times they're like, oh, I'll take you around for a couple hours if you want, and like after work or something. Like that's really cool. Like I've had that in Scotland and Ireland where people are like, oh yeah, we'd like to show you around Italy as well. So there are those things. I know we had a really good guide in Beijing, and she enjoyed just showing us around. She's like, hey, I know you paid for this tour, but I'd love to just go shopping with you guys or just hang out for a bit. And so she actually came with us for 2 other like adventures in Beijing, but she wasn't working, just hanging out with us. So it was nice. Hey, I want to give a shout out to Grant Rennie. Thank you very much for the super chat. In honor of your hot dog post, we'll be having hot dogs for lunch today. Thanks, buddy.
Good choice.
We appreciate it. Very nice. And know that will be going towards the new computer fund to get a new functioning, stronger computer that doesn't take 2 hours to render a video. But I'm not bitter. Anyway, but thanks, man. I really appreciate that. Let's see. Some more questions on here. Mom, is that Delftware from Delft?
Yeah, I think there was something up there that's Delft. Now, some of it is Chinese. Actually, as far as I'm not sure anything. The one piece of Delft I thought is not there, but it looks like Delft.
Well, Sahil will have to come visit you, and we can go get some Delft with you, buddy. Let's see. So someone was asking about Austin with kids, and Mark Finley pointed out between Austin and San Antonio is very interesting. Also, there's a Schlitterbahn relative near there, so you have the water park to go visit. Mm-hmm. Maybe not right now, but in the future. Yeah. Rob from TripHacks DC. Speaking of guides to go check out, if you're heading to the DC area, I highly recommend Rob. He is an awesome guy and an awesome guide, both, which is not always the same thing. But he gives you some really fun stuff. And if you have any questions about DC before you go, his videos on DC are like the best because he really goes through a lot of stuff. But he's noticing like people are staying local this summer, but generally traveling to places outside the cities. In the cities, tourism industry is getting absolutely crushed. Yes, I mean he's a guide in DC. I know I see where we live, no one is posting any Instagram pictures from the museums in the towns we are, but they're posting from the nature areas and the state parks outside. So you are seeing a lot of that. That's why it's important, like booking ahead for some of these destinations and stuff like that. So thank you, Rob, for pointing that out. Alexander, good morning. Good to see you. Anderson's asking if it's safe to travel again. Where's the first place you want to go? Well, we came here to Mom. We already did that one. I would probably go to Italy because we missed the wedding we were supposed to be in was postponed. Excuse me, not canceled, just postponed. And the first was postponed to September. Now they're thinking next June. They're not sure the dates next year. So at the rate things are going, I'm hoping we'll be able to go there. So we'll see. Grant, good to see you, buddy. Let's see. Okay, Mr. Blonde, what do you think is the fastest growing city in the U.S. for tourism? I think Nashville, Tennessee is one of the fastest growing ones for people going down there. It's kind of become a hub for like bachelor and bachelorette parties for people in the Midwest. It's not just country music people. Actually, there's more of a hipster thing there now than there is actually country music stuff, I feel. Also, a lot of people from like Illinois have actually moved to Tennessee, and Nashville's been a very popular place. So there's a lot. I mean, that's like a lot of people moving there, but there's also a lot of tourism going there. The traffic is horrible. They have not planned very well with their roads. So that kind of sucks, but it's still fun going on Broadway, listening to all the music and stuff like that. So, Otto Benato, I really want to travel. Me too, my friend. Me too. Let's see. Hey, Ferris Gameplay. So G. Anderson asked, do your kids miss traveling? So that was a question that some of you actually posted. We actually have a video and interviewing with the kids, and that was one of the questions, do you miss travel? And they do. I mean, the kids have actually mentioned that it's just, it's just a little boring without it. And they miss going and meeting friends and playing with kids around the world. So there is that. Oh, yes. So Moldova is still left too. I had students from there, and they wanted me to swear never to go there because they were not happy with what was going on there. But we'll get there eventually. Let's see. Yeah, Skopje, Macedonia is one of the places we're looking at visiting this summer. So Richard has a question. How do you determine when to include your kids in the videos versus keeping them out? How much is too much overexposure? So one thing is like you don't see Caleb in a lot of videos anymore because he doesn't want to be in the videos. So we respect that from him. And Liam is getting the age too that he doesn't want to be in it. So when they ask to be in one, like they're like, hey, I'll do a video. Or like when we do our Christmas video, like the 12 days of Christmas, they'll come up with an idea. Then they're wanting to do it. So then we'll do that. It's funny because most people always think that we're just a family traveling vlog. I'm like, but we don't really talk much about family travel. We just travel, and it happens to be the family. It's for all travelers. So it's kind of funny when you have that. But if you're looking to travel with toddlers and let's see, and youngins, yeah, I think when you're looking at traveling with kids, it's helpful to have the kids in the videos to show stuff. But I would just use like B-roll for that because what happens is you're trying to corral the kid and you're not focusing on talking to the audience. Mm-hmm. That's why I don't like doing like holding the camera and talking like a lot of vloggers do, because then you're not just focusing on what to talk about, you're focused on holding the camera. Is it getting me right? What's the background? You're trying to do three things at once. It's like, look, focus on talking. That's why I just put that tripod up and talk to the tripod, and then I put the B-roll over so I can just be focusing on getting all the information across to you. So just something to think about.
Yeah.
Let's see. Traveling the world. What are your favorite travel YouTube channels? My favorite are Wolters World, Yellow Productions, Trip Hacks, Sam and Audrey, Hereby Bar. Yeah, I've only seen a few of Hereby Bar. Yeah, I like all those ones you have traveling the world. Those are all good ones. Oh, Eric and Julie are on. Good to see you. Blair, I'm glad we can make your quarantine a little bit easier. I'm glad you found our channel as well. That's really nice. So Ginger per resident, do you usually stay in a hotel or an Airbnb? It will depend. If we're with the kids and we're going to be staying someplace like more than 3 days, then usually we'll do a VRBO. We actually like that a bit better than Airbnb, but we'll do one of those two apartment rentals. Just because for the location, the space, having a place to go back to, because when you're in hotels, going back to the hotel, if you're like traveling in Europe or other places, it might be just it's like basically beds and there's no room to move around. And with kids, they like to move around, so having a hotel to spread out. Also, I'd like that because we can come back in the middle of the day, give them some time there and do that. But if it's like a shorter, like if we're just going for a weekend someplace, maybe we would just get a hotel and do that. But sometimes it really depends where you're going to go. Like Marrakesh, someone was writing about that. We stayed in Riyadh, so that was really more fun. Let's see. So Bruno is saying, when I and my friends were in Morocco, we hired a local Marrakesh cab driver to drive us around in the Atlas Mountains. Yeah, so we were in Marrakesh and in Casablanca too. We enjoyed our taxi driver from the train station so much. We asked, like, hey, do you drive around for this? Like, yeah, it's $100 for the day, or it's like something like that. $100 to take you wherever you want for the whole day. I'll be like your guide, driver stuff, and I'll take you places. I'm like, cool, because we liked him. He's trustworthy. He was friendly. Gave us some good advice. Because I always talk to the cab drivers and the Uber drivers or whatever, whenever we get anywhere, to get some information, get an idea of what things are there, because they know stuff. So you might as well talk to them, and it helps that 30 to 50 minute, hour long cab ride go a bit faster if you get a little bit of information. I know there's one Uber guy I got in Kansas City. I thought he was a taxi, but he's an Uber guy now I think about it. And he took me in. And if you're ever in Kansas City, if you want to get a taxi, you got to go outside, find a phone to call them in. And everybody in Kansas City gets upset. Like, well, we're getting a new airport. I'm like, yeah. When it's ready, you come talk to me. So you get the Uber to come and pick you up. And so my Uber driver I was like, so what do you like? He's like, well, I'm a big Arthur Bryant fan for barbecue. So he and I were talking about this for a while. He's like, I might go there later for lunch. I don't know. I'm like, oh, cool. Yeah. So like we're talking. He gives me some tips on places in Kansas City. Drops me off at my hotel. Check in. It was a conference, so I had to check in the conference. All this kind of stuff. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go get some food before the stuff starts. I go to Arthur Bryant's, take another Uber there. I'm at Arthur Bryant's. He's at Arthur Bryant's eating there. So we ended up talking, and he's like, and I'm like, are you working? Because I know you said you're going to get off. So he's like, you know where you're going, because we had talked where he lives, and I'm like, I could, ask for an Uber, and then you could take me back. And he's like, yeah, that'd be great. And so we he's like, so I'm going to get in my car and turn it on. And then he's like, I'll give you the signal. Then you send your thing in and I'll get it right away. So we did that and he took me back. So it was kind of fun. Yes, that is my mom. And my mom and I have traveled, I don't know, like 30 some countries together, 40 some countries together over the years. Oh yeah. Tom Shannon. Yeah. Attaché's got a nice one too. And as Chris points out, like Attaché, Chris from Yellow Productions, myself, we all have day jobs and then do the travel stuff on the side. Let's see. Oh, sorry, kind of a jump there. Hold on. Marcela, thank you. I'm glad you like the tips. Okay, so Frost Element. Mark, what are your thoughts on Wi-Fi while traveling? Renting a portable Wi-Fi or a VPN network? So the portable Wi-Fi things, I have had one of those before. And it was like for 5 devices. It was like $10 a day, which was fine. But you got to make sure that when you sign up for that Wi-Fi device that it actually works in all the countries you're going to go to, because I gave my itinerary to the organization that I got the Wi-Fi thing from, and it says Russia on there, and I went and that didn't work, and so my phone plan kicked in because it's like, oh, you're not on Wi-Fi, and so I'm like, whoa. So you want to make sure that works there. Also, if you're going to be using your phone anyway, I mean, it all depends where you're going to be going, because sometimes we go. I know we've been to, like in Japan. The places we went, they actually had one day, oh, take it around with you so you have free Wi-Fi when you're going around the town. Yeah, which one?
Well, it was just a recommendation of a place to go in Austria.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, Hallstatt.
Hallstatt, yeah, that's that. Yeah, it's a beautiful town. Beautiful town.
I have to go there.
Yes.
Next time I get to Austria, which I'd love to be there soon.
I know. Oh, yeah, and Chris Bates points out, I do like the endless adventure transition to building a motorhome. Yeah, they are having a heck of a time with that motorhome. Because I know those videos were filmed before, and it's taking a while. Like I'm going to guess they're farther along than what the videos are showing. But yeah, because I know like one of their last videos was like, did we make a mistake buying this motorhome? I'm like, you might have made a mistake retrofitting it, but it's been great for the reviews, so that's great. So I'm happy for them. But I know if we did an RV, I'm like, no, I got whatever's there, man. We're going the 1970s style, and we're rolling that way. Let's see. So, Journey with Eric and Julie, have you ever been to Yellowstone? Is there enough to do with young children to make it worth the drive? There is a lot of stuff out there because there's a lot of outdoor stuff. So the kids like to run around and do that. So that is kind of a nice thing. You can also get Grand Teton when you're there if you're going out towards that way to make because they're relatively close to each other. Because that's actually a thing we're thinking of. If we can travel in the fall, I think we'll be heading out there with the boys for that. Let's see. Purdue Computer Fund, get a 32-inch monitor to be able to read and see better. I suggest the LG. There you go. And huge. Yeah. Thanks, Purdue. Wow. So Andrew's talking about one of the provincial parks near me is at capacity already for the day as of 10 a.m. Yeah. Wow. And this is one of the things, whatever you're going to be doing this summer, expect to have caps, have limits. And this is one of those things, I think, where you have the over-tourism kind of stuff. Like, there's a big article that Amsterdam does not want the tourists to come back. They do not want the tourism. They would love for the tourists not to come back to Amsterdam. You're going to see some of these restrictions for museums and sites and stuff. I think some of them, maybe not as strict, but I see a lot of those staying post-COVID because you have this over-tourism stuff where places couldn't handle everything. All right, it's okay. I'm good. So that's one of those things. Hey, Jennifer. Hope you're doing well. Jennifer says hi.
Hi, Jennifer.
Yeah, Blair. Yeah, Nashville's got great music. Grubber G, keep up the wholesome content. Love from Greece. Thank you. I'm glad we can. Yeah, it was funny. We did a live feed on Jocelyn's channel, Simply Jocelyn, and it was like, oh, it's like Wolters World After Dark because it was more Jocelyn's risque. So Jocelyn's channel is doing well. She's got 1,000 subscribers now. So we're halfway to her being able to monetize the channel, which is nice. So we put up another drinks video yesterday, and for some reason YouTube lately has got this weird thing on her channel where she'll get like a huge thing. She'll put out a video and she'll get like 25 dislikes and like 3 likes. And I'm like, there's only been 10 views. Like, it's been really weird. And so a few of them like went away, but their last video, they like stayed. But it was funny because she had like 20 views overall, and it was like 10 likes, 9 dislikes. There's still 9 dislikes. So I'm like, that's kind of strange. But yeah, we're trying to get her channel going. She's got all kinds of drink videos filmed, but she's only going to put those out on Fridays. So we're trying to figure out it'll be like drinks on Fridays, sweets on Saturday, main dish Monday. What else was there? Tip Tuesday. So there's a lot of stuff. So we're trying to figure that out. So when we get back home, she'll be filming more of those. But we've got the drink things down. So there is that.
Yeah,
She's
you've
got,
got the
she's
great
got, she's
things
got,
going.
she got a few tips as well. So we're going to start doing that, but little by little, because I think looking at like travel is not. I mean, we're not. The international travel is not going to probably happen until next year. So we'll keep doing our domestic stuff, but I think that'll be a fun thing to we'll get to have some international stuff because Johnson Cook's a lot of stuff's been inspired by our travels, so that was really nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so Olivia asked, what is the cheapest city to fly into from Europe? If you're talking to the U.S., you're looking at Orlando, New York, Chicago. Those are going to be some of your cheaper ones to go in if you're coming from Europe. If you're coming from Japan, you're probably looking at L.A. or maybe Chicago or Seattle. So, but you can check those out pretty easily. Let's see. Other fun stuff. Georgia, Azerbaijan, Armenia is Europe as well. Have you been there? Oh, true. Central. Yeah, that's true. Because I always kind of clump those together with Central Asia. So yeah, good point. Good point with Georgia and Azerbaijan. No, those are ones we'll be getting to. That was Central Europe stuff, or Central Asia, Caucasus, were things we're looking at for a future trip too. Yeah, so Paul Tipton has a good point. It's best to check if public places like museums or other tourist attractions are open, as I found not everywhere is open yet with my upcoming staycation. This is true because we had a whole trip planned to visit the National Civil Rights Museum in Memphis and the Underground Railroad Museum in Cincinnati, and they only started opening up in July with limit. The National Civil Rights Museum was at 25% capacity. I don't know what it's at now, but you can see that there's that could really influence what you're going to do. So when we went from Illinois down to Georgia, I mean, it was well, let's just drive because everything was closed. So that's why it's going to be your travel prep is going to be a lot more going forward for the next couple of years than other times. So Jacob Rivera, I'm living in Ireland at the moment. I recently found out that Malta is on the green list, which is awesome because Malta is really nice. Near the beginning of fall with the Malta is a nice visit. I do enjoy Malta. My buddy of mine lived there for a number of years. He worked in insurance, so there's a lot of base there. So I went to go visit him. We had a really nice time. If you go to Malta, get the taxi app on your phone and do that to get your taxis. It's way easier than doing anything else. Yeah, Yapa, Baneth, I agree. Sometimes vlogging takes away from the moment. It does. That's one of the things. Yeah. I've never wanted to walk around with the camera hey guys, here we going. I already feel silly enough when I put the tripod up and talk. But I'm look, I want to enjoy these things because then if I enjoy it and I really get to see what it's like there, then I can tell you and I tell my other people, hey, this is what it's like when you go there. Because there's an Instagram, influencers in the wild. And it's just showing influencers doing stupid stuff to get their pictures, get their stuff, and totally ambivalent to what's going on out there, and I don't like that. I'm I want to enjoy it too, because then I can tell you what to enjoy. So Der Indivanda, any topics today? If not, what season is traveling to Finland recommended? Summer, though. I would go early summer, like June, May, because then the bugs aren't as bad. July, August, the mosquitoes can get kind of bad in the Lake District, but that's when I really like to go. Or go dead of winter and go north for the Northern Lights. But I because if you go in the winter, you can do the sauna and then go roll in the snow and kind of hold the ice and go do that. I love that. Or in the summer, when you go, if you can go by Åland or you can go up by Turku, there's the archipelago, the collection of islands right out there, and get rent a place there and have your sauna and just enjoy it. Because Finland really is a fantastic relaxed destination. I would love to get back there. I actually lived there as an exchange student when I was in high school. Yeah, Chris is crawling the walls. I am too. Travel Nick P is asking what the licensed battlefield tour guide. Harder to be a guide than it is to get into Harvard. Yeah, and that's the thing is if you're going to a main site, if you're going to Pompeii, if you're going to Gettysburg, if you're going to the Vatican, if you something you really love, go get a good guy. Go get a really good guy because it's going to make a huge difference. So definitely
see so much more, and you'll get so much more out of it.
Mm-hmm. So George Ford, what do you think the American tourist industry will be fully open? Not for a while. Next year. I think you're going to see pullbacks. I mean, honestly, I think you're going to see pullbacks in openings and times and stuff like that, at least for the next few months, and then hopefully things will calm down again and maybe you'll see some reopenings, but back to normal. I don't think even 2021, even if we have like vaccines or whatever, 2021, you're going to have such an economic impact from all this that it's not going to be like it was. And that's where you have to be careful, because some people are getting upset with like the masks and stuff. Like there's a thing in the news today about this Delta plane had to turn around because these two people refused to wear masks on the plane. What you have to realize, if you don't wear your mask and they kick you off, you might be banned from that airline for life. And there's not a lot of airlines out there. And there's going to be less airlines after this whole pandemic. So you might be stuck not flying ever again because no airlines will take you. So it's a serious thing. Yeah, there's going to be repercussions for that. So. Oh, JK7076, best place for a 6-month sabbatical, not expensive but safe place, Portugal.
Mm-hmm.
Portugal is a really good one if you're looking at Europe, because it's affordable, good food, nice people, lots of English spoken, really good internet, good education. Lisbon gets overrun with tourists these days because it was voted like the coolest capital in Europe, and it was like the best European getaway for like 10 years straight. So you got a lot of that, makes it a little bit more pricey. But you go like places like Porto or you go like Setúbal, or you go to Évora. There's a lot of places you can go and just relax, not spend a lot of money, and the people are really nice. I mean, I lived there for 5 years. My youngest was born there. We actually talk about going back sometimes. Like that's where. So we were thinking about doing sabbatical stuff because all my classes have been going online. So like a pseudo sabbatical, like, oh, let's go someplace for the fall semester since all my classes have been moved online and do that. And we're like, Portugal is the one that came up the most. So there's that. Ilias, hello from Morocco. Hey, how are you? I love your channel so much. Thank you so much. We had a fun time in Morocco. God, your food is so fantastic. Oh, so good. So Jack Gaffeo, have you ever been to Australia? Yes, I was an exchange student in Australia in high school, but we have not been to New Zealand. And the original plan was for this Christmas season, we were going to do Australia and New Zealand for 3 weeks. But alas, that's not going to happen. Oh, son of Thomas Moore. Hey, good to see you back. COVID-19 quarantine should end on Tuesday. Thank you, goodness. That's going well. I'm glad. Addie, do you plan on visiting South Asian countries like India and Sri Lanka? Yes, India is definitely on the list. Sri Lanka would be probably on that trip as well, since it's right down at the bottom, because we want to spend at least a month in India because there's so much to see and do there. And the difference between the North and the South is like almost like 2 different countries in itself. So we have a lot of stuff we want to do. Let's see. Oh, wait. Dang it. Sorry, it jumped around, so I'm going to scroll back up here. Museum in live. Hello, hello. Okay, so Tanya Collier. Hi, Mark and Mom. Being from Australia, when do you think Las Vegas will be good to visit? I would say next year, but Australia now has a second wave of COVID. I need to go to I need to go to Vegas. So Vegas is opening back up. If you go to Turn It Up World, Tanya and Dave, they're like the most energetic, happy couple ever. And they've been doing tons of live feeds from Las Vegas the last month or so because it's been opening up. And Vegas doing a pretty decent job with the mask and making people do stuff. So that's nice because they want to make sure people can get in and make money. They don't want you to die. They want to take more of your money. So there are some stuff there. So Vegas is opened up quite a bit. But if you're going to be going from Australia, I don't know who can get in, who can't get in. Yeah. So that's one of the things there. So Alex Todd, hey Wolters, thank you for your vids. You're very welcome. I appreciate your open-minded, positive approach, finding good in all places. As an online teacher, I have also used your videos to my students. Oh, that's so cool. Thanks, Alex. I'm glad I can help out. And actually, I get there's quite a few teachers that write me. Because it used to be like German teachers would use the don'ts of Germany videos. And there was like other language teachers would use that in their classes. And then, because I have a business channel called Professor Wolters, where that's my day job. I teach marketing. And so professors will write me. And so when I go to like professor conferences, people will come up and talk to me like, I use your videos. And I'm like, the travel ones? Or they're like, travel ones? No. What do you have a travel channel? I'm like, yes, I do. They're like, oh, no, I watch your business videos. I'm like, oh, that's cool. So it's pretty fun. Yeah, Nicholas is pointing out Banff National Park, which is awesome. In Canada, is forcing people to pre-book to go to the big sites. My friend works for tourist places. Apparently, no one really was aware. Yeah, that's the thing is, it's funny because we were talking about this in May and June when things are starting to open up again. It's like, look, you're going to have to pre-book. You're going to have to pre-book. And it's kind of like we all got collective amnesia. Like, wait, we need to do some stuff. The things are a little different. It's not like the way it is. George Ford, what's your next foreign destination? So Delta, they canceled our Ireland flights. Jocelyn still has a flight to the UK, which I'm sure will get canceled. The next one we have is probably we're going to the Cayman Islands for like a weekend, which probably we get canceled, and that's like way late in the year. And I think the only reason it hasn't got canceled yet because it's still so far out. They're hoping like we'll cancel so they get the e-credit instead of giving us our money back. Let's see. So, Uina Hams, thank you for all the travel videos. You're welcome. Advice you give, it's really informative. Would you ever consider living in Europe? What European country would you live in? So, I was an exchange student in Austria and Finland. And I did my master's in Germany. I did my PhD in Portugal. And I probably lived at a buddy's house about 6 months in Italy. So we have lived in Europe quite a bit. I actually lived abroad for 12 years. Also lived in Australia and Brazil and Argentina. I worked in China for a summer too. So like we have no problem living abroad. We've actually looked at doing that sometime in the future again. But where the kids are at school, like, you know, the oldest is going to be in 8th grade. So like we want to make sure they have the same place for high school. So they have like a base later on. Then we'll most likely start working abroad again. Let's see. Ooh. Oh, Olivia meant flying from the U.S. to Europe. London's probably going to be your cheapest flight, or Dublin will be your probably cheapest flights to Europe. Peter Melander, baseball being back is the best thing that's happened in a while. Yeah, we were watching the Cardinals-Pirates game last night, which they won, which is nice. Mr. Blonde, what is your personal favorite cookie brand? Mom cookie brand is my favorite. And every time we come visit, Liam's like, cookies. And this time they made brownies, which in my entire life, I don't think we ever made brownies from scratch. Mom.
Oh, yeah, we did. Actually,
you made that square chocolate cake all the time.
Well, that was my grandmother's recipe, so why not?
Did you say your grandma? Oh, that was your mom that couldn't cook. That's right.
But she learned.
She learned.
Exactly.
Hey, Darian. Thanks, buddy. Jennifer Benzie. Any dislikes you guys get are from folks that are jealous of you guys or former students that were not happy with the class. Because I've had students that were like bitter because they, you know, I'm like, dude, if you don't get like an A or B in my class, like I can't help you because I do the best I can to teach you. I put everything out there, and I'm not one of those professors that likes to like surprise you. Like I'm going to teach you this, and then I test you on that. It's like, no, you just never came to class, man. Don't blame me for your failure. Yeah. But anyway, we froze. Hey. Def Leppard Rules Rock. Thank you very much for the super chat, my friend. So the Def Leppard Rules Rock. I gotta let's pour some sugar on me after this in honor of you. Do you think Russia is safe for solo travel? My friend who is from there and lived there for a long time said that I am absolutely not to go there alone without a guide. Is it that dangerous? I don't think it's that bad. I mean, it depends where you're going to go. Like, are you doing the Trans-Siberian Railroad or just going to St. Petersburg and Moscow? Are you going on the back streets? I mean, it all depends. It's like anywhere. There's certain places you probably would want a guide, but there's other places like, I mean, you went on a guided tour.
Right. Moscow.
But Moscow, St. Petersburg, and the river on there. I've gone to St. Petersburg.
River.
Yeah. I've gone to St. Petersburg a few times by myself. I got shook down by the cops, but whatever. It's not that bad. I would definitely say in the evening you don't want to go out alone, especially on the weekends with the drinking and stuff. So be careful there.
Language.
Yeah, language can be a bit tough. So like that would be one thing. If you're going to go to Russia, learn the alphabet because everything's just pronounced like it's not like English where like PH is like it's actually all the sounds, all the letters make the same sound, so you can actually sound it out. And it's funny when you sound out the words, you're like, oh, I know what that is. So I would definitely do that. And we have some videos on Russia to help you out too. So yeah, Ryan is right. Aer Lingus usually has good deals to Europe via Dublin. That's true. Let's see. Okay, Jimmy UK, question to Mark's mom. Which trip was your very first trip outside the U.S. you took Mark out for a holiday?
Let's see. I think it was Mark taking us out for a holiday.
I think the first, we went over to Windsor, Ontario for a day.
Oh, that's, yeah.
But that was Grandpa.
That was
and
Grandpa.
He gave me a loonie.
Ohio.
And I thought that was like so cool. I'm like, oh, there's different money. Like I was a little kid. I was like, that's so cool. And then the next time I went abroad with my parents, it was going down to Mexico with my dad because he was working down there. So down to
Yeah.
New Mexico for a couple weeks.
Then
And then the
I
next
went to
time
Finland,
you came to Finland and visited me there.
and we went to Sweden and Norway.
Norway, yep. And then
What's it?
did you come? You didn't go to Argentina when I was there. You didn't go to Austria when I was there.
we were scheduled to go to Argentina, and then the 9/11 happened.
No, that was a different trip. That was a different one.
Well, we were going to Argentina.
Oh, that was you guys were going on a tour, I think, for that, because I was in Argentina and it was like '98. So there was something with that. No, there was something with work. I remember that. And then, but so my parents my parents didn't get crazy into travel until 1999 when I was doing my master's in Germany, and they came, and at the time the dollar was super strong, so it was actually cheaper for them to come visit me in Berlin than it was for them to go to like New York. So they were like, oh, we can just come. And they were both working, so they would take like long weekends and come visit. Would I rather try to survive a zombie apocalypse or the purge? I'd probably go with the purge. There's that. Let's see. Okay, Katie Smith, thoughts on... Oh, where'd it go? Thoughts on living and safety in Rio, Sao Paulo, and Recife, Brazil. So, all of them have their issues. Probably in terms of safety, the ones I'd be most concerned about are Rio and Recife. Sao Paulo does have issues, but it's not as bad. They all have like enclaves. You'll see that. You got to be careful. We have friends live in Rio. They hear gunshots every night. Recife, that's the only place I've been where a taxi driver came up and was like, you all need to get the hell out of this part. We're like, we're in the tourist part on a Sunday. They're like, no, y'all can't be here. Like, okay. Yeah. Sao Paulo, I mean, I lived there for 7 months and didn't have any issues, but I knew people that did. But they made stupid decisions. That's why we actually have videos on how to be safe when you're in Brazil. You don't show any wealth. You don't, flash anything. It's funny because you'll see people like in Rio on the beach with their iPads and their tablets and their iPhones, and like locals will come up like, y'all need to put that shit away. Pardon my language, but y'all need to put that away because people will come rob you and no one's going to help you with this. So that's why it kind of really depends where you're going to be. So, I just jumped. Dang it. Let's see. Yeah. Nick Barnett says, I was with a group from my university led by a professor who was Russian, so it was easier for me, who only knows a few words in Russians, but would be impossible on my own. It's not impossible. It's like, anyway, you find young people, they'll speak some English. Older people will not, none, zero. Yeah. Like I would say over 40, I would say over 60, zero. Between 40 and 60, 10%. Under 40, 50%. Like at least I've had some probably that year, especially if you're doing tourist kind of stuff, you'll be there. Let's see.
Oh, there's somebody traveling.
Later, Tony. Thanks for hopping on. Let's see. Mo says his dad understands Russian. He studied Yugoslavia back in the day. I was supposed to go to Russia next month. Sadly, probably not now. Mo, sorry, buddy. So, some other things on here. Michael Mann, good to see you, buddy. I didn't get to say hi. So there's some stuff we wanted to talk about today. So, because I see our questions are slowing down a bit, so we got a little time to... Nader 1, zombies, just go to DC as long as you're the one. Oh, let's stay away from the politics, man. Wales is starting to ease its lockdown as I normally go home to Ireland by ferry from Holyhead. That's nice. Oh, so the video keeps freezing. The audio is good. Yeah, sometimes we have those issues. So, Ryan, let me know. Like, I'm going to hold up a picture here.
Maybe to take it out of the plastic.
Okay, take it out of the plastic. So this picture, which will hopefully show up, is my grandma on her way to go study at the Sorbonne in Paris in the 1930s. And we actually have a huge scrapbook of her trip, of some of the really amazing things she did. And we actually also have her suitcase.
Here, let's go this way.
And it's a wood suitcase. Sorry.
Here,
and it has all these stickers from some of the places she went, the hotels and things. So all of you that had the stickers in the back of your laptops, they were doing that stuff a long time ago. I don't think it's a new thing. But one of the things we thought about doing...
Take it this way.
It's okay. I'll just put it down here.
Okay.
one of the things we're thinking about doing for a future trip, because now that we're debating what are some things we want to do, because no one's getting younger, so we want to do some fun stuff.
No,
we go around.
I'm not getting any younger.
Yeah, and so one of the things we thought about doing is retracing her steps. Go from Le Havre to Paris, and then all the places she visited on her tour and her stuff to kind of see what's there. Because one of those stickers is from the Hotel Bristol in Geneva, which is still there. So we thought it'd be kind of fun to do that. So we're just in that, this is the thing we just started talking about yesterday. And this is the thing we think we're going to do to show. And it would be a different type of video. It'd be more like a documentary kind of stuff. Like, this is what she did in the 30s. This is what we do today. So you can kind of see what's going on. So that's one of those things we're looking at doing in the future. As well as doing your genealogy stuff.
And she went over on, a boat.
Yeah, we won't do the boat.
No,
I don't have a week for that. Well, yeah, and after with the COVID stuff, I really don't.
No, we don't want to do that.
Oh yeah, so that's one thing we're looking at doing, because it was kind of interesting to see her stuff, because her guy, she has. You want to grab the picture? Because she has the postcards she sent to people. She has the tickets from going to see things. I mean, it's just really, really amazing to see things. And here's a postcard. This is a postcard from Kolkum in Germany, which we actually been to. But this is from our cousin, who, you want to tell the story? Is it the SS guy?
Oh,
not the SS, the
OSS.
OSS from Britain.
A friend of my mother's, they were exchanging postcards, and I guess her husband was doing reconnaissance work in that area for the OSS during the war. And so she put this note on the back of the postcard or the card that I found. So there's lots of good stuff in her scrapbook.
Yeah, so we're going to kind of do through that, so it'll be a good time. Hola, David. Hope you're doing well. Oh, my, yeah, 3 hours from Holyhead to Dublin, 3 hours. That's easy. That's a nice one. Oh, Def Leppard Rule Rock. Thank you very much for the super chat, my friend. Do you think a COVID vaccine will be the key to return to normalcy? I think for a lot of places it will be, and also proving that you have the vaccine. It's kind of like when we were in Tanzania, we had to have our yellow vaccination cards to show that we had our yellow fever vaccine. So I think you'll be having things like that. Probably if there's one out there, it'll be probably for the next couple of years, and then we'll see from there. So yeah. Oh, it's better now? Good. Traveling the world. Do you have any new videos on Budapest? Have you been anywhere in Hungary other than Budapest? Yes, been in a couple small towns in Hungary. I have videos for what to know before you go to Hungary, what to eat in Hungary, the don'ts of Hungary, shocks of Hungary. I have all those things. But the hard drive that had the backup with all the B-roll stuff, it is not cooperating, and I did not get those files transferred over. So I have a whole bunch of videos from Vienna, Bratislava, Budapest, Prague that I can't do because all the B-roll is needs to try to get saved. But I have the me talking stuff. So I have that in Budapest and around. I have those videos. That's all ready. And the text is ready, but I just got to get the B-roll for it. So once I can get those things off and working again, then there'll be plenty of Hungary stuff to help you out. Purdue State across the Sorbonne. Very nice. It's a nice area. Nice area to stay when you're there. Ginger. G. Anderson. Ginger. Yeah, I've been trying to, that's one of those things. I've been watching some of the videos, and even if I don't talk about the language stuff, I think I'll probably start putting more in some helpful phrases here and there. And sometimes just honestly, the simple highs and thank yous go such a long way with so many people that we really recommend just knowing some of those basic things. It really, really helps. Paul Tipton, how heavy is that suitcase? It is actually very light. It is a very thin wood thing.
It is kind of surprising, except that, of course, there's no wheels and a lot of things that you would like.
But it was made 90 years ago, so it was made to last.
Yeah.
So without a guarantee. So there is that. Ace Hood, Visit Middle East. We were looking at doing some Dubai and some other stuff, but again, COVID has just basically destroyed all of our plans, and so now it's kind of like you build a Lincoln Tower or a Lincoln Log Tower, or you build a house of cards, and then it all falls down. All those cards are still there with all those destinations. Now it's just all of them are down. So it's really going to depend where we can travel, what we can travel, who's going to travel, who's going to allow us to travel. So there's a lot of stuff there. So right now the whole pack of cards has been put back together. Grant Rennie, thank you very much for the super chat, my friend. We do not have any peaches or butts, but we do have butts, but we don't have any peaches. So I can't eat a peach to say thank you, but Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Let's see. Hey, Rebecca Point. How are you doing? Good to see you on here. Let's see. Yeah, Nader. No one would suspect. Though I'm sure some people are like, I want that. Because we post a thing on Instagram, and there's a lot of people like, that's cool. Where do I get one of those? I'm like, I have no idea. Go to maybe a thrift fair or something like that. There might be something. I don't know, or go to an antique dealer.
You're probably going to have to look online and specify 1930s suitcase.
Yeah.
Well, in fact, I was looking at some travel trunks on a site that just happened to come up. I'm sorry, at this age.
Well,
I can't remember everything. Anyway, but if you look at old luggage online, it'll bring up some options. But I'd say you just have to be at the right place. I mean, old people don't realize, even church garage sales, I mean, that's a great place to find some stuff, but get there early because
that's why you see
stuff goes.
Yeah, because like the American Pickers and stuff like that, there's a lot of stuff they don't grab. So there is that. Axel versus 94. Thank you very much for the super chat, my friend. I'm glad our content is good. We can keep it up. We'll do our best to keep it up, my friend. Let's see. Mr. Blanc, what's your least favorite place in France? I don't really have a least favorite place, but I have like some that I would like, maybe go someplace else first. Like I'm not a huge fan of Marseille just because it's big and bustling and it's a port city, and so it's got a lot of industry and industrial stuff. And so that kind of, I'm like, go down the coast a little bit more and get some more things.
Aix-en-Provence.
Yeah, or Avignon or something like that. But I don't really have one I don't have one I hate, so that's a tough one. Grant, Rennie, Mark, send your hard drive to Louis Rossman. Thanks, buddy. Let's see. There's a bunch up here I want to ask. Oh, Vagabonding, good to see you up here. Good morning from Canada. So my grandmother did not inspire my wanderlust. She had passed away before I was born. She died like the spring before I was born, so I never met her. But my grandfather, who was married to her, used to send us postcards when he worked. He was a minister and he worked all around the U.S. And so he sent us postcards. So maybe that had something to do with it. So we saw. That's why I have this huge postcard collection from places I sent, because I send them postcards wherever we travel.
Yeah, but you've had pictures all your life of around the world, the pictures that were painted from around the world. But you've always been curious. But I think, that Australian trip, that Rotary Exchange.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing.
I think that inspired you. And
so
your love of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, to meet different people from different cultures, I think, probably. Yeah. Too. Maybe.
Yeah, so Pat the Postman, which do you think are the best countries to raise children in? I think it's places that love children. And the thing is, you'll see things that'll say, oh, the happiest place in the world are like Denmark. I'm like, I don't see a lot of people smiling in Denmark. It depends how you judge happiness. Like where I see kids happy and playing and stuff like that is very different. And so I think it's a place where the kids can be outside. Like I really like the kids who were in Portugal, raised in Italy, the U.S., Canada, Australia. There's a lot of places where kids can get out and be free and be kids. That's a nice place to be. But it has also decent schools. Yes, my mother is an attractive lady. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's see. So John Anderson, Mark, if you know the hotel, they would possibly have the exact room she stayed in. Yeah, for one of those old ones, they might. I mean, that would be kind of cool because everything's getting digitized now, so that would be kind of a fun thing to do. Let's see. Yeah, Purdue. My first phrase I learned when I travel is, "I do not understand." That's a
good one.
Good one there, buddy. Oh, so Grant's saying in the UK you can get old luggage at the UK in the markets.
Oh, yeah, right.
So Liz from Means to Travel has helped Mr. Blanc said, I didn't like the catacombs or the sewer museum in Paris. So the catacombs in Paris, if you are claustrophobic in any way, or you didn't realize you were claustrophobic, you will become claustrophobic in the catacombs down there. So
I won't be going there.
Yeah, you will not. No way in hell I would let you go down.
No,
so
I don't like those kind of places.
Yeah. So here's one we can talk about because I'm sure you've had some of these. Nader One says, crazy weather situations you ran into traveling.
Oh, well, there was that time we went to England and it rained and it
rained
poured.
This way. I think it was raining up. It was
from the very beginning when we got there, you think it's going to get better. And then your son has shoes.
And then my shoes ended up having holes in the
Holes in
bottom. And so my socks
It was
were
like a squishy. The first thing we had to do was buy you shoes.
No, we got me socks. And then
socks and then shoes.
And the thing is it was due over New Year's. So like everything was closed. So it was like the shoes gave out it was like New Year's was like on a Monday. So it was like, oh, we're closed, or however it worked. It's like, oh, we're closed on Saturday because the holiday is closed Sunday. And then the holiday was Monday or something like that. And then you're like, oh.
We went there right after Christmas.
Yeah.
And so it was cold. Plus it was wet.
But it was wet. It was cold wet.
And fortunately, I had a perfect raincoat that we used to call Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yes.
Because it just absolutely, your shoes were soaked. You had to switch shoes every day in order to have a pair. Of course, he couldn't because he had one pair.
I was a college student.
Yeah.
We lived a different way. Let's see. Bye, Nick. Thanks for being here. Have fun. Oh, cool. Have a good time. I think some of the crazy weather stuff I've had.
What about when we were stuck in Prague because of that?
Oh, the ice storm. That was Christmas 09 maybe? Or Christmas 10? Christmas, I think it was Christmas 09.
9, I think. Yeah.
And there's a huge ice storm all throughout Europe. And so we all were leaving, because we were living in Portugal and we were doing a tour. So Jocelyn and Caleb and I, before Liam, we were going down to Munich and we were going to spend Christmas in Bamberg. And my parents were heading back to the U.S. to be back here for Christmas. My brother and their family and stuff like that. And we got on the train as the ice starts coming down, and our train's like the last train that gets out of Prague, and their plane gets delayed and canceled. And they call me, and if they would have known their flight was canceled, literally 30 minutes earlier, we could have got off the train and just stayed with him in Prague for. You ended up getting stuck there for 5 days.
5 days.
Five more days.
It was after Christmas before we could get back.
Yeah, and that was bad.
And then, they kept canceling on it, and we'd go out to the airport, and then we'd have to go back and then re-rent the room. Fortunately,
the room was okay.
It was still available.
Yeah, and then my that was crazy. And then there was it was in 2010 when the volcano exploded in Iceland. And we're trying to figure out how to get around those things. I've flown through a few, around some hurricanes, so some really bad turbulence stuff. There's also the ones where you wake up and you're like, there's a blizzard outside. There was no snow. And you wake up and you're like, the snow is halfway up the door. That happened to me in Finland once. And I'm like, that's not cool. Let's see what else. A few tornadoes while driving around. That's a little scary. But those are some crazy weather things we've had. Klaus, I love you. Hey, we do smile in Denmark. I saw one no more than 2 weeks ago. Actually, Klaus, we so the plan before the numbers shot up again, our plan was for next spring to go back to Denmark to take the boys there because I think the kids would really like Denmark with all the outdoor stuff there. It's I think it'd be a nice place to go. And the Danish hot dogs and the the Danish pastries, so good. Oh, Mr. Blonde, which country has the best street food? Man,
he knows.
There's so many. China's got great street food, but Jocelyn got mad at me because I would eat it and get sick.
I would never eat street food.
There.
Because my background.
Yeah, I think if you're looking at Europe, street food. I actually like the street food in the Netherlands better than the actual restaurant food stuff because there's so many good things there. So that would be one I'd like. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Raymond, for the thumbs up. And please, you guys want to give a like. We really appreciate that. It's really nice of you. Yeah. Christopher Billionaire, you guys living the life. We've been blessed. I can't lie. Got great parents. Got to went to great school. Got a great job. Get to do this YouTube stuff. Have great supporters on YouTube. The superheroes, the members, the people that watch, all of you on here. I just can't say thank you enough. Thomas Reiser, thank you so much. Hi, buddy. Marie McKinnis, all of you. I mean, it really makes this a lot easier and more enjoyable. I mean, even if we can't travel, I can still talk to you guys about travel. We can still reminisce. We can kind of
reminiscing is
sigh
good.
Together and stuff. So it's nice. Redemption fan, when do you think the COVID will calm down a little? Probably in the fall. It'll start calming down again. Let's see. Jess, what's the coolest thing you learned about from a local? I think in general, the things I've loved about the locals are like the little cultural things. Like in Lithuania, like there's a bit you don't shake hands over the threshold of a door. So like people would like sit there and like just look at my hand, and then once I come in, then they shake my hand, or they like push me out the door and then shake hands. I'm like, what the? It was like learning those little like cultural things. That's been my favorite thing. So. Oh, Marie McKennis talking about the bad weather stuff. We had the storm behind us traveling in Italy 2018. One night in Florence it caught up, and it was like somebody was throwing water from a bucket at us. We've had some of those. Remember we were in Venice when it was flooded.
Oh my gosh, Here we are looking to go to Venice and looking forward to it, and we get there and the water is, it was just sky high, and you're walking on those platforms. The other place that was kind of scary was when we were in Montevideo in that hotel. And the wind and rain.
Yeah, and you're like, is this window going to blow out? Like, I'm not, it was one of those things that like, boys, you're going to sleep in the interior part of the room, and we're going to like block you. But and we actually met Juan, the guy that was like one of the managers there. Mm-hmm. He was a fan. And he saw that we booked a room, and so we went to check in. I think it was the Hilton.
No, I think it was
Marriott. It was a U.S. chain that was there. It was really nice. And a really great price too. And so we had booked it, and he knew who we were, and he knew we were going to Uruguay. So when we go to check in, the lady puts her name, is like Wolters, She puts it in, and you see her go, 1 moment. And she goes back, and then he comes out, and because he was a fan. And actually, if you watch our Montevideo video, we spent a couple days with him, and he showed us around, and he made a little video for us on Montevideo. So it was real nice. Yeah, Mo agrees. Dutch street food is really good. So, Apollo, what is your favorite town in Finland? I love Helsinki, Porvoo, and Tampere. I like Turku because I live there. Like I can't not say Turku because I was Turussa for a whole year. Christopher Blina, is Belize one of the best places you guys have been to? No, it's not one of the best places we've been to. We enjoyed. We had a really good time there, but I wouldn't put it on my best list. Purdue, I always say eat fried foods when traveling because it kills more germs. That's how you call fried food healthy. Frying kills most of the germs. Thank you, Purdue. You have made my life better. Oh, Derek's saying if your stomach can handle it. That's true. And that's some of the things which you have to realize when you travel. Sometimes the way the food is cooked, it might not be the food that gets you. It might be how it's prepared or lack of preparation that can get you. Because sometimes when I get food that's overly greasy, you're like, oh, it just is really greasy and.
Or seafood if it is a little old.
Yeah. Oh God, Caleb had one. Oh my God, we were in Venice, and he loved octopus, and they had this. And the kid was so sick, he was throwing up through his mouth and nose. He actually, Jocelyn and him stayed behind in Vicenza because he was so sick, and I was taking students around, and so we went on to Milan, so we got to see the Last Supper and stuff, and he didn't because he was so sick, and Jocelyn didn't either. And someone was asking about if we'll ever do tours. I'm sure one day we'll probably do some tours, but I usually take students once a year to do stuff. Obviously, this year we didn't get to go anywhere. So my trip to Vienna with my students to teach there became an online class, which at least they had to get to have the class with some students from Vienna and students from the University of Illinois where I teach. So they were together in the class online. So there was that. Let's see. Oh, Michael Mann's hitting another milestone anniversary. I hope I hope you can get to Italy, my friend, for that. That's nice. Redemption Films. Have you ever been to Pakistan or any South Asian countries? That is a future trip, so we will be going there. So there's that. Yeah. So Ray, the Philippines trip. That is another place we want to get to. We had a plan for a trip that involved going like Fiji, Cook Islands, kind of down that way, and then Philippines and Taiwan, like Southeast Asia, then going up to South Korea and then coming back. But again, all the troops have come crashing down, so there's that. Oh, Tom Viera, thank you very much. I'm glad you liked the trip. Yeah, Caleb, man, Caleb gets bad luck. Liam got his hand smashed in a door and had to go to a lot of hospitals in China, but Caleb is the one who's gotten more sick when we travel, though. So there is that. So Alexander has a good question. Do you think travel abroad will be much more difficult and expensive in the future after this? I think it will be. I think you'll have You're not going to see a lot of deals right away because people aren't traveling, so the deals won't inspire people anyway. But I think when people start traveling again, you're going to see deals. So short, like once it starts, short term, you're going to see deals. But I think longer term, I think you're going to see it's going to be more expensive. You're going to have less competition out there for flights and routes. So
you're not going to have as many choices.
Yeah, and when there's lack of choice, it means the prices go up. So let's see, Nader 1, most unique place you slept in. What's that, Liam?
The architect's home, remember?
The architect's home.
Last time we were in France, in Paris.
Oh yeah, so Liam was talking about this apartment we rented in Paris, and they actually had like the stairwell was all like plexiglass, so you could look through all the floors and stuff like that. So Liam think that was pretty cool. I think, let's see, staying at the Salt Hotel in Bolivia, going there, staying there, that was pretty cool. I don't know, we've stayed. There's not been really too many crazy places. I'm sure there has. I'm just forgetting it. Mom, you got anything?
All I know is that one time that you felt all three of us could fit in the.
Well, there was this time. So we were in Frankfurt after my aunt. Was that when Barb was there?
Well, Barb was there, and we went to Dresden.
Yeah.
And we had to switch our trip.
Yeah, because we were going to go to Prague, but there was a huge protest going on there. So like last minute, I'm like, we're going to Dresden instead, and then we went around that way.
And you booked the three of us into a double room.
No, it was a triple.
Yeah, well.
That was a triple. That's before you realized that
it was a small.
It was. Well, you're gonna call on me. What about the place in Strasbourg that was like so tiny? We had me, Jocelyn, Caleb, and Liam, and it was like the size of this table. So anyway, we love each other, and that's all that matters. Hey, Francis, good to see you on here. Glad you made it. Aaron Austin, what criteria do you use to determine some place is one of the best places? Our experiences with the people and the food. That's what makes it better. Because sometimes you have places that are just really cool, but the people like really take away from it. But then some places that aren't really that cool, but the people there make it so much better. So you can really have a big influence there. Let's see. Oh, wow. So Bill Simonis, one of the most interesting issues is we were traveling to London, and after deplaning at JFK, we were stopped by air marshals and questioned about a gun on the plane. Exciting stuff. Huh. So traveling world, do you have plans for Oman, UAE, Namibia, or Tunisia? So I have been to Tunisia, but that was pre-filming for Wolters World, and I love Tunisia. The people in Tunisia were fantastic. Like, so friendly, so welcoming, like... It was great. The WAS drivers, though, so like the hired taxi kind of stuff, you can take you to between cities. Oh my God, that was scary. They drive so fast and so crazy. But yeah, Tunisia, I really, really enjoyed. Namibia is longer term when we're thinking about doing more of a southern part of Africa tour. We'll probably visit Namibia. The UAE would be on our Dubai stuff, so that's on the list of places to go. So Oman, I don't have on the list yet, but I mean, it's not a place I would not go. It's not. Not going to happen kind of thing. But yeah, three of those. One I've already been to. Two are on the list of places we're going to go. So yeah. Let's see. Francis, I'm glad you're on here. I know life gets busy. It's okay. So Tony C, I'm back. Good to have you back, my friend. Have you ever met Rick Steves? What do you think of his travel videos? So I have never met Rick Steves in my life. My mom loves his books. She used to always get his books. I think he does really good if you want to get like a local restaurant or a local hotel. He does very good for that. His maps drive me crazy because they're like not to scale, so it drives me nuts. That's why I like Lonely Planet maps. I think he's done a really good job of making Europe accessible to a lot of travelers. So I gotta give him props for that because he's done a really good job to help people out to like feel comfortable to go. And that's one thing we try to do is like, hey, let's try to make it so people feel comfortable about going places. Another one I really like is Joseph Rosendo, Travel Scope, which is on PBS. He does a really good job of going to cultures and exploring it. He got us to want to go to Rwanda, and we loved it. We go back to Rwanda tomorrow. It was great. Oh my goodness, the birthday boy's here. Hi, Oliver.
Liam.
So we having a nice time. Sorry, my wife just popped back in with my nephew, and it's his birthday. Let's see. So it's hard to concentrate when a cute little baby goes by. Sorry. Let's see.
Have you been to Tanzania?
Yeah, so Apollo says, have you been to Tanzania or surrounding countries? Safaris, waterfalls, people, food, amazing. Yes. So we went actually last time we went to East Africa, went to Rwanda and Tanzania on the same trip. And you're right, they are just incredible. The people were so friendly in Tanzania and Rwanda. I found the people in Rwanda even more friendly. But Tanzania has a reputation for the friendliest people in Africa, and they are incredible. We loved our time there. One of the best guys we ever had.
I'm
What
ready
do we
to go
had
back.
there? Yeah, Jocelyn just said we're ready to go back.
Yes.
If you get a chance to go. It is so well worth it. If you have any trepidations, donate. It's a fantastic experience.
Felt incredibly comfortable
Yeah.
and safe.
Jocelyn says she felt incredibly comfortable. Also, like we went with our parents, they had a great time. My dad says that was the greatest trip we ever took as a family. So yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Mary Ellen.
It was
Good to see you.
I felt very safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Redemption. Have you met Drew Bensky? So I've got the only people I've met that are in the travel YouTube world or travel blog world. One, I got interviewed by Johnny Jett from JohnnyJett.com. That would probably be the most famous one I've met. Bye guys. Then it's other YouTubers you might see on here. Means to Travel. They got a channel. Gallivanting Gals. We've been on their channel. We've been Turn It Up World. Roz from TripX DC, so we've done stuff with them, but like the huge million people, no, I've never met them, and no one ever talks back to me, so sorry. Let's see. Edward, do you recommend using a tiny messenger bag when traveling for wallet safety? What I usually do is I usually have my wallet in my front pocket, to be honest. You want to make sure whatever you're going to use for safety is whatever you feel most comfortable with. So some people, like my dad, likes the bag that like hooks on his belt and it tucks down so you can just take it out. Some people like the neck thing so they can just pull it out. It depends what makes you comfortable.
There's even a shoulder one that goes under the arm.
Yeah.
Some people like that.
Yeah, so it really depends what works for you.
Or you can turn the waist bags where the little things that
fanny pack.
Yeah, you can turn. Well, no, the thin one that fits in the clothes.
Gotcha. The
well, they're little trowels.
I know. I forget what they're called. Passport things. Yeah, someone help us out. So let's see. Adam in Germany, is Russia and Asia the same field as Russia in Europe? Is in Europe? It's a lot. There's a lot of similarities, but there's some definitely different vibes. But it's cool to go to wherever you're going to go. Money belt. That's the word we're looking for. Thank you, Purdue.
Money
you're
belt.
The best.
And you can turn that thing around either way, whatever's comfortable. Wear it to the back or to the front. Not so easy to get to.
Yeah. So that was cool. Let's see. Oh, so someone has asked if Belize was one of the best places we went. So yeah, I still have my I Love Belize hat, if that helps. But we had a good time. We had a good time in Belize. Really enjoyed it. I think if you're gonna go, I definitely go inland to see the Mayan ruins and stuff that are up there. But the big thing is you want to go to the Keys, like Key Coker or San Pedro or whatever. Going out there, not San Pedro, but going out there is really nice. But yeah, it's a cool place. Oh, okay. Check out Numios. It's a great resource for comparing costs in different cities. Yeah. So Nate brings up a thing to talk about cost because like Gabriel Traveler is another one I like, and Gabe talks a lot about how much it costs to go places and be places because that dude's doing budget travel forever, and that's all he focuses on. So we'll go like, how expensive is it in this place? And the thing is our videos, people find our videos years later, and talking about prices today versus in 5 years is really difficult. So I kind of give like a feel like, yeah, in comparison to like a medium-sized city in the U.S., like kind of that's my base price kind of stuff. Because, if you compare anything to New York or Moscow, of course it's going to be cheaper. If you compare it to the middle of nowhere, it's going to be more expensive. So we're just trying to give a overall feel for some things. Let's see. Liz has one. Rick Steve was funny when I met him at a conference. Instead of having people like up, he said to swarm around him like an Italian mob. Oh, line up. Interesting. I'm gonna guess this was the Travel and Adventure Show in Chicago. Let's see. Oh, someone got a travel safe. That's kind of cool. Yeah, Grant's got a master. I got a Masterlight Travel Mini safe. It's a little plastic safe shaped like glasses, spectacle box, about twice the size. Cool. Let's see. We're on like super jumpy mode right now. Let's see. Yeah, everybody's live streaming today. It is. Oh, Rakesh,
Oh,
you're not a nice person. Sorry. Let's see. I love the fact that I can't. YouTube is not letting me put people out. Whatever.
in the room.
Oh well, we could just report them, and then if they get enough of those, their channel gets banned. Let's see. Yeah, no, like you'll see a lot of. You have a lot. Like Saturdays are a big live feed day for a lot of channels, just so they can get out and start talking and do stuff, which is nice. Just to give people a chance to talk and share and get out there, and especially now because people are back to work and stuff, so it's kind of a nice thing to be able to have friends out there and talk to them, and even if there are people that are not very nice, everybody they have their words. That's fine. Let's see. Yes, people life can really throw some hairballs. That is true. Let's see. Purdue makes a good point. Another good thing about fried foods is donuts are fried. Well, good donuts are fried. That's right. Let's see.
Gabriel Traveler
Is growing on me. Yeah. Yeah. Gabe's in Croatia right now. He got over. He went to Serbia so he could get in, and he's using that to go travel some more. Travel adventure show. Let's see some other questions out there. Because we had a big, huge jump, so I know there's some more back up here we missed. Let's see. Well, we can talk about some other stuff, and then we'll just... So if we missed your questions, repost your questions so we have some stuff so I can go back to get some of those. So Mr. Blum, what's your strangest experience while traveling? Strangest one. So... There's a town, São Tomé das Letras, in Minas Gerais, Brazil, which is like considered one of the like hauntedest, spookiest, alieniest places in Brazil. And it was funny. I was there for like 3 nights, and every night at like 1 o'clock in the morning, exactly, all the dogs in the entire city start barking for like 2 minutes straight, and then they stop. And I was like, "Whoa, that was weird." And like, if you look, you'll see like aliens or whatever, not aliens, like UFOs and stuff. But the thing is, also at the time, I think it was like the number one location for marijuana smoking in like Brazil or something. So like we're like, maybe they're seeing things they don't realize it's not really there. So that was a really crazy thing. I don't know what are some strange things.
Strange things.
I don't know because I've traveled so much. Like what I think I thought was strange 20 years ago. Now I'm like, that's kind of cool. I have to think about some more strange stuff.
There you go. An idea for another.
Yeah, some of the strangest things you could see.
Wherever you go.
Yeah, so I have to think about that. Yeah, Means to Travel does their live streams on Thursday nights so people can join after work, but it's tough because it's too late for most Europeans. Yeah, like our next. So if you want Jocelyn, our next Whiskey Wednesday for everybody is on August 5th at 8 p.m. Chicago time. So I know like Mo will stay up late because bad boy. But most people like Marie McKenna, she's in Sweden, so it's a little late for her. So there's that. So Means to Travel says, what meals do you like to make in your VRBOs? So one of the things is whenever we go, we we have to see what they have in terms of the cooking stuff. Because sometimes you go and they have nothing. Like we were at one in Georgia here last month, and they had 6 spoons, because it was a 6-person place, but they only had 6 spoons, 6 knives. But the thing is since we're quarantining, we basically were quarantined there. Like you had to wash everything, so you didn't have you couldn't cut like the meat because we need one of those knives to cut them. It was like really annoying. So we're trying to figure out what all we could have. So a lot of times what we'll do a lot of like fish in the oven, do some steak like on the grill. Like if they have a grill, we'll use that. A lot of similar stuff that we'll do from home if we're in the U.S. because it's similar stuff. When we go abroad, we'll buy local stuff and try to like cook local food when we're there. Like when we were in Mexico, we had one. I was making chilaquiles, and that's where I really fell in love with chilaquiles. If you get a chance, it's fantastic. So that was one of those things we like to do. We've actually made, if you watch our Low Country Boil video on Simply Jocelyn's channel, we actually did that in a VRBO. They did not have the big pot. Our friends that live there actually brought the pot over, but we did all the cooking when we were there.
Do you like regional airports or large international airports.
I'll let you answer that one.
Well, I have to use both in order to get anywhere.
Yeah. I like to start with the regional ones because you usually get free parking, and you go through security there and you're done instead of the long lines other places. So that's nice. Excuse me. So Melisandra, hi Mark. I was thinking about going to Romania next year. Obviously not now. And I was wondering if you've ever been there and what your advice is. We've actually been, and it's been quite a few years since we were there. But if you're going to go, I really recommend staying in the Transylvania part of the country because that's got.
Get out of Bucharest.
Yeah, get out of Bucharest. You don't need a lot of time there. There's the Peasant Museum there is really nice, like educational. They have an outdoor museum which shows you like they took buildings from all over Romania and put it there.
Yeah, that was interesting.
But then you want to get out. Like we like Brasov. You go to Cluj, but you're saying like it's called in Germany. Transylvania is called the Siebenbergen, the Seven Mountains, and so 7 peaks or whatever, and or 7 cities, whatever. But there's 7 cities, whatever. There's like Siebenbergen, Bergen, so mountains. But the Transylvania region is really, really the place to be when you're going to go there. So definitely I would check that out. You're not going to spend a ton. I know when we were there, we were getting frustrated because that was the peak of the rip-off tourists that are now coming here phase. So like there'd be a room for like $30 and a room for $100, and the difference is this one had a shower. Like, oh well, we'll switch to the cheaper room because we can walk down the hall for the shower. So there's all kinds of stuff like that.
Maybe they had a TV and the other one didn't.
Yeah, which we're like, no
and
thanks.
what were we going to watch anyway?
Yeah. Let's see. I'm thinking. Mo says he doesn't mind staying up late. Marie's sad though. Yeah, Mo, you youngins, with your ability to stay up late and sleep in late. I'm jealous of both of those things. Those are skills. Put that on your resume. Let's see. So Cider Hedgehog, is there any possibility that you visit Japan again when overseas travel? Yes, I'm actually supposed to speak at a conference in Japan next year, which I hope happens because it's actually kind of a really big conference. I'm actually speaking there on the education side, not on the travel side. So hopefully I can get back over there. Let's see.
What do you want to bring? Oh, what do I like to bring back on my travels? Oh, okay. And do I bring it back on the plane? Okay. I like to bring pictures back, but I also like to bring clothing back. And I know I brought some losers that Mark would say she'll never wear that. But I have brought back a lot of garments that I enjoy wearing. And every time I wear the garment, I remember where I was at.
Yes.
And those so it depends upon where I am. I always like to have space in my suitcase to bring things home in. And my backpack, but I also do send if there's a possibility and it's something larger. I'll have it sent. So both ways. But I like paintings, especially original paintings that you just get out in the street. Folk art, I like really good folk art.
So Bill and a few other people are talking about how they this is one of those things they went to the Louvre and they got separated and didn't find each other for a couple hours. Oh. That's happened a few times. Actually, one of the times that happened, we were in the Hermitage in St. Petersburg, and the Hermitage is huge. And the thing is, when you go there, they put you with a guide. The guy just runs you through it. And so I was looking at this one thing, and then I turn around. I'm like, oh, they're gone. And I had to use. And so you have the little microphone, hearing aid version kind of thing, earbud. And I'm like, oh, and I found them because I was locating them because the signal's getting stronger here, so I go down this hallway. It's getting weaker. I'd come back and then go down this other one, and it took me 30 minutes to find them. And they're like, "Oh, we didn't even realize you were gone."
That's a good point. Well, I got separated from the tour group when I was in China in a museum area, and it was and all of a sudden I didn't see anybody that I knew, and it's okay, my God, which way do I go? And you just really need to be more aware of where your tour is going.
Yeah, and for those of you with kids, if they have phones, have your, make sure, here's one thing where your data is going to be helpful is because your data has to be on for that Find My Phone app to work. So you got to have that. So we'll actually have their thing on and Find My Phone. So then, because they're not going to lose their phone. They're going to have their phone with them all the time. So you have that. Also, what we'll do is at some museums, we're look, you like certain stuff, I like certain stuff, so we'll actually split. And I'll take one kid, she'll take the other, I'll take both, or she'll take both. Look, we'll meet back outside at 2, And so the Louvre is one of those things because Liam has a certain kind of art he likes, and Caleb has a certain kind of art he likes, and John. And so we'll kind of like, hey, we'll go around. If we bump into each other, then we might switch off a kid or something like that, or walk for a bit together. But we always said like, look, outside at 2 p.m. where we're going to meet up. And I do that a lot with like when I take our students around. Like, look, you don't have to stay together. Just be back here at 3, and we'll go from there. Just because then people aren't like, I don't know where they are. Like, oh, we have a meeting point. So it's always good to have a meeting point. Trying with Nick P. Mark and Kathy, what's your favorite U.S. national park? I mean, you just can't go wrong with Grand Canyon. I like that one. But there's a lot of other things you can go see and do. Great Smoky Mountains. That's really beautiful. There's a lot of natural water slides you can go on around there when you're driving around.
That's
so
beautiful.
So hopefully we get to visit some of those this year. Amanda Dodd says, do you have other U.S. travels plans for the remainder of the year? We're hoping to, but now we're waiting to see how this latest surge is going to go, and if they're going to have more, if we're going to start shutting stuff down again. Like Massachusetts, you got to have like either have a test or have a 14-day quarantine when you get there. So like, you know, be able to go, especially if you're driving around, like where can I get a test done? Because like we'll test before we go to make sure, you know, and do that. But right now, I think most of our stuff we're looking at is like, you know, going to the Mountain West Coast. So get a lot of stuff we haven't been. Outside, because the boys have been to, Kayla's been to 50 countries, Liam's to 45 countries. I'd like to get them into like the 40s of states so they can see some more stuff. So if we could do like a road trip where we hit the Dakotas and Montana and Idaho and they haven't been in the Pacific Northwest, and do some stuff up there. So the boys can see some stuff because also like their school is going to be online. So if we're going to be online, let's take this and so we can show them, you know, American geography. We can show them American history and do some stuff. So that's kind of our plan this year, or at least for the fall going forward. And then next year we'll see where things are. So, Will Evans, I am not sure about the J1 visas. I know they banned new students coming in. If they already were students here that happened before, then they can come back. But I think hopefully that will go away, because I think those students should be able to come. We do a great job of educating the world, so why not keep educating the world? So there's that.
Bruges.
Yeah, Bruges is great. Who's asking about Bruges?
Down here at the bottom, he was just saying that it was a great. Bill.
Oh yeah, Bill's saying, yeah, like it's great. Bill, yeah, Bill, we're on the same page. Bruges is a great place to go. Went with the brewery there. Nice. Later, traveling the world. Oh, Qing Dynasty 47. Good to see you. When we went to the Louvre, the First Lady of France and South Korea walked in front of us. Pretty neat. That's cool. Yeah, that's the thing is like people always ask like, do you meet famous people when you travel?
In the Louvre, yeah, I was right when we were right in front of the Mona Lisa.
What?
And there were you weren't.
I wasn't there for
you
that.
were at the Louvre when those people came up to you and asked if you weren't Wolters.
Oh yeah, no, I've had that. No, I'm talking like
the other way.
The other way. I've never seen any
famous. Oh well, I did see Sean Connery that one time.
Yeah.
In,
one time, but it was a long time.
It was a long time ago.
So she just followed him around. No, like I always say, I saw Steven Tyler from Aerosmith in Vienna when I was going to school there, and his bodyguards was not having anybody come talk to him unless they were attractive women. Then they got to come up and say hi. So the girls who were studying with us, they got to go say hi, but the guys didn't. Oh man. Let's see. Oh, hey, in Iceland, another wonderful place. Hopefully one day we'll be able to travel again and go visit you again.
I hope to get there.
Yeah. No, we can go there, Mom. It's no problem. Let's see. Qing Dynasty. Oh, we're doing well, buddy. Good to have you back. Let's see. Yeah, it means to travel. I got tested a couple days ago. Innovative Care in Chicago. Only took 3 days. So I work at the University of Illinois, and they have a saliva test, and you go in and you get the results in about 5 hours for that. Hey, Fierce Mice. Good to see you. But it really depends what you're going to go see and do. Lori Sims says hi, Mom. Hey, Lori.
Hi, Lori.
Lucid's on here. So we got some other stuff. So some other travel things to talk about. Because we're going to stop about 2 hours. So we're an hour and a half in. So we got like half hour left of questions. So if you got some other questions, send them in to us. So we can try to get some more stuff there. Oh, Whitehorse, Yukon. Oh, that'd be a great place to be. Gorgeous up there. Bit of a drive from here, but there is that. Yeah, I know. I've seen some stuff. Some people are traveling again, and you'll notice you'll have all this deserted stuff because like people will be traveling around local areas. Like the Honest Guide, they're in Prague and they do a lot of videos there. Really fun guys. Like we were going to do something together this summer because I was going to be in Prague, but since COVID happened, we didn't get to do that. But they have a lot of stuff like just showing how empty Prague is or how empty Venice is.
I mean,
And the thing is a lot of people I know when this first started, when it first opened, that like, oh, the U.S. is banned from going places. They're like, oh, but everyone else is going to get to travel there. But people aren't traveling there. Like people just aren't traveling. And so you get this hope that you can open up and start making some money again, and then people aren't there. It's really tough. And that's the thing is sometimes we still got to think is like, hey, let's try to help out as much as we can. So
we have some individuals from China and Brazil on.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Nader, I'm not lucky with meeting celebs. I know a few athletes, but I met them before they were famous. I also knew an infamous person growing up. Yeah. Yeah. Same. I met a few NFL players when they were in college, but they wouldn't remember me. So, yeah. Xinjiang, I'm helping people out in South China with the floods. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things people don't realize. Like, China's got some of the worst flooding they've ever had right now. It's horrible, and we're not even hearing anything about it. And that's one of the things is sometimes, there's the disaster tourism, and some people ask, like, when do we go back? When do we travel to a place that has had a disaster? And you have places like the Bahamas or Bermuda or stuff that their whole economy is based on tourism. They have a hurricane come through. Like, when do you go back? Because once you go back, then they can start making money again to improve things. And that's where sometimes you just reach out to the visitor centers and say, hey, should we come? Should we not come? Because the hotel's like, we would love to have people here, but if the hotel's like, look, we can't help you. Like, we would prefer you didn't come. Then you really know what's going on. I know for us, like we've tried to go to some places, like we went to Brazil before the World Cup and the Olympics because there's so much bad press. Like, look, people are going to go. Let's teach them how to have a good time and a safe time when we're there. So we're trying to do that. And so, but then there's like the disasters that like people go to Chernobyl or like, oh my God, no, I'm not. Or people like to want to go see stuff where bad things are happening. Like that's not a cool thing. Let's see. Ice and Airwaves? No, I have not. Ooh, Scorpion. Sue saw Queen Elizabeth. Went to Parliament at night. Motorcycle cops stopped traffic and whizzed by. Then a limo with the Queen goes by. Yeah, I think you told us about that. That's cool. That is cool. I forgot about that. That is nice. Let's see. Oh, Lucid, we're just talking about travel stuff. You got travel questions, just send some in. So Stephen Evans, are you traveling now? So right now, I traveled from my house to my mom's house. So that's about a 3-hour drive. So that counts as travel. So we did that. But we did a road trip down to Georgia from Illinois, which we have a vlog on. We have some other videos that are going to come out. But other travel stuff, we're not really doing anything else right now. We've basically since quarantine, we've come to my mom's house twice, and we went down to Georgia on a straight shot drive. We just stayed we rented an apartment, like a beach apartment in the building. Like no one was there. So we had the whole building to ourselves or the whole house to ourselves. Well, not the whole house, but like the other floors weren't rented out. So we just like went beach to beach house. So that was a nice kind of relaxing place. So it was cool.
John Anderson asked, do you have notes in hand when you do your...
Yes, I actually have you'll see me with a notebook. And what I do is I will have... like on 2 pages, I have like 5 of the loves and 5 of the hates on the other page, or I'll have the shocks written out. And so I'm kind of like the title of the shock and maybe a couple examples. The thing is, it's like I'll look over it and then I'll just do it. And hopefully I remember the jokes or the comments I want to have, but I'll go through and I'll like glance down. And if I lose my spot, I'm like, okay, what was number 8 going to be? I'll look down at my sheet and then do that. But I don't have like a prompt or anything like that. It's kind of like I have my notes. All right, you guys want to talk about? And then I just film it and cut it together.
Probably have a really good short-term memory as well as long-term memory, so you can remember what you just reviewed.
Yes, so that does help. Thomas Rise just got back from Minnesota. I'm glad you had a good trip. Funny thing, Thomas's sister has actually worked with you, didn't she?
Yeah, well, she was the communications in the communications department at the U of I. Yeah. Means to Travel was asking where my favorite destination is to go and where I go back over and over, and I bet you know where that is. Well,
where would it be?
Germany, Austria, Scotland.
Yeah, Germany at Christmas and Austria for Christmas for my mom is a must.
Scotland in the summertime, and I'd like to go back to the Shetland Islands. I'd like to see that area, more of that area, And I love lots of places. I mean, there's hardly a place I wouldn't want to go back to. It's just time and money.
This is true. So Mr. Blonde did remind me, I actually did meet some famous people. I didn't really meet them. So Rhett and Link from Good Mythical Morning, they were sitting in a booth at a restaurant at JFK, and I walked by and said, I love your stuff. And Rhett's like, thanks. And then they, like, that's all I had. So that's true. Thank you very much, Mr. Blonde. I felt I'd met somebody else, so there's that. Pat, I've already answered the question about the best place to raise kids. So about the U.S., Portugal, anything with a lot of outdoor stuff so they can be kids. Let's see. Mr. Blunt, what is the best plane to travel in? Do you know? I do not like the old McDonnell Douglases because the seats are too small. I like new planes. I like the 777s. The Dreamliners were very comfortable. When they retrofit a 757, sometimes they have a nice big body, so you get a little more space. But it's interesting because once they retrofit some of these, and you got like the higher, like you really feel like it's really big when they have the higher overhead kind of thing there. Let's see. So Dave DeFore, thank you very much for the super chat. Is Europe just out of the question before 2021? Do you think? Love your videos. Thank you very much. For coming from the U.S., I am not hopeful for Europe before 2021. I think maybe towards the end of the year you might be able to have some relaxing. So you might do like have to have a test and then quarantine or something like that. But I think you're going to see some restrictions, and you're not seeing a lot of people traveling to Europe or within Europe even yet. But hopefully towards the end of the year maybe things will open up a bit. But I wouldn't be like planning, like my mom loves the German Christmas markets. I wouldn't be planning on that. I wouldn't promise that to anybody right now. Let's see. Charles is going on a cruise next year, and one of the stops is Roatan, Honduras. Any concerns with going there? No, Roatan is actually pretty safe. It's mainland Honduras, which has a lot of the issues you want to be very careful with. So there is that. Let's see. Oh, Amar in Iceland talks about the Hekla volcano is building up to an eruption. Since her dad indicates that when it erupts, there won't be loads of time to haul your butt off the mountain if hiking there. Yeah. There are some videos. So we were in Nicaragua, outside of Granada, Nicaragua. There is the Masaya. No, not Masaya. The volcano that's right outside of there, because I'm messing up with the Maasai warriors, right outside of Granada, Nicaragua, and you can actually see the magma lava bubbling up and stuff like that. And there's some videos. At one time it had like a little mini shootout eruption while there are tourists on there, and you're like, oh my God, you see everybody running, and you're like trying to film, and they're like, oh, I'm going to die. Like, yeah, influencer, get your butt off the mountain. So you got to be careful with those. So that's why one of those things, whenever there's like warning things, like I was supposed to go to York, England earlier this year, and then the floods were starting to come, and I'm like, you know what? I do not need to be another tourist in the way when people need to be helping other people. And so I canceled the trip. And there's other reasons why we canceled too, but that was like the nail in the coffin. I'm like, look, I can't do this. So you really need to be careful. So thanks for pointing that out. Let's see. Yeah, Mark Finley said, I met a famous person. I met Mark Wolters on my last trip. I wouldn't go that far, buddy. I would not go that far. Juan Rodriguez in Medellin, Colombia. Another place we were hoping to go, which is now with like I said, it's the house of cards we had built with all the great travel destinations have all fallen down, so they're all together. But yeah, Colombia is definitely on our list of places to get to. Oh, Rod, Romania. Nice. We were just talking about Romania earlier. Some good places to go there. Let's see. Yeah, so Purdue makes a point. Sometimes higher storage makes it harder for weaker, shorter folks to get their luggage up, and yeah, that is true. In those flights where you stand up like, wow, there's so much room up there. Yeah. I have helped a number of travelers over the years to help them out. That is true. Let's see. Fierce Mice. The CDC recommendation for quarantines are now 10 days instead of 14. Have there been any changes yet in quarantine durations anywhere? I think that is one of those things. The quarantine rules are so fluid that you may think you're going someplace next week and it could change. So you definitely want to make sure you're checking things out. Like Massachusetts now is saying they're going to fine people from out of their safe states, basically New England. If you go there and you don't like have a test or don't like quarantine or something like that, they're going to fine you like $500 a day. And so like, and that's something that just came up. And so you're like, okay, so while you're driving, if you're on a road trip and stuff like this, you want to keep abreast of what's going on because things can change very quickly. So you want to be
Any
careful.
advice on the loves and hates of Tybee Island?
The loves of Tybee Island, going to the back river, those beaches are empty. I know it's not the ocean, but it's a lot calmer with kids and stuff like that. A lot fewer people, especially when it's social distance. We were there, and there was nobody near us for 50 feet. And we were there like on weekends too, so you had plenty of space. Whereas over on the ocean side, it was packed. Go to AJ. I like AJ's when you eat there. Crab Shack's always a good thing. Definitely take a day to go into Savannah and explore the historic stuff there. So do that. Also, Messiah. Yeah, I was right, Messiah. If you're going to Savannah, make sure you have your mask because they will fine you. But the cops are at least nice. Like, hey, you don't have a mask. I'll offer you a mask. If you don't do it, then I'll find you. Then I fine you. So there's that. Aman, you said you'll visit India a few times, but never actually did. Is there any? No, I said we will when the kids are a bit older because we want to spend enough time there. And with the amount of time we want to spend in India, it limits us to the like Christmas break or sometime in the summer, and the summer is a little too hot, so that'd be probably more of a winter break kind of thing. We'd go. So it's a question of time with the kids and when we're going to get. But it is. Don't worry, we will be getting there. Don't you worry about that. And apparently, we're taking mom and dad too, grandma and grandpa. So.
Have we ever gone on a cruise together?
No, we have never gone on a cruise together, have we? No. Let's see. Mo is saying it's sad that BA decommissioned all of its 747. Really love those planes flying London to Kuwait. Yeah, when you have the bigger space, because also it's a smoother flight when you're in those bigger planes. Like Liam, he would always like, or no, Caleb. Caleb had a fear of flying for a while, and he's like, he just wanted to be on a big plane. Didn't care. As long as it's big, I'm fine. Small, I was scared. Ginger is wondering, have you or your mom ever gone on a cruise? My mom's gone on a lot of cruises. I've gone a couple, but we have not done any together. I think cruises, if you want to get a lot of places and touch on a lot of places to get a feel for places, cruises are nice. If you don't want to unpack, I like the independent nature of not cruising and independent travel. Like you've enjoyed some of your cruises.
Yeah, we did Russia on a cruise. We did China, all different forms of transportation. And we did a cruise there. So it just depends. But, they do have benefits in terms of you don't have to carry your luggage once you get there, but you're limited as to where you're going to go. And then you always, certain times you can get off. So you just don't have the freedom you have when we do the independent travel.
Yeah, and when you're on those trips, it's one person's problem is everybody's problem.
Yeah.
And that can be that's where people get really upset with certain people that don't respect the timing. And on cruises, if you're not there when they leave and they're like, bye, you got to figure out your own way back.
And I mean, other tours, in bus travel, that's another, you have, it's great when maybe you're not as experienced or you don't want to spend the time planning. But if you like to plan, doing it yourself, it's fun. Plus, you can stay as long as you want.
Yeah. Said Loan, sorry. Hey Mark, I live in France and I'm going to Portugal next month to Lisbon and Porto for 4 or 5 day trip. Do you reckon any good beaches on the coastline near Lisbon? And is Porto worth going to? Yeah, Porto's worth going to. Just stay down by the river. I would spend more of your time in Lisbon probably though.
Definitely.
If you're looking for the beaches, Costa Caipirica, which is on the other side of the river from Lisbon, like the main part of Lisbon, those are the best beaches. But the easiest beaches to get to, if you go to Cais Sodré, which is a train station that goes along the coast, it has a train line that goes along the coast. You can go down to like Carcavelos, which is a nice beach. You can go down to Estoril and Cascais. At the end of the line, there's some beaches there too, and do that. Those are actually some easy beaches to get to because then it's easier to get to without buses, and you just take the train there and come back. But Costa Caparica is the really nice beaches there. Nader, if we're ever in Florida again, hey, if we're coming by, I hope we can meet up. Let's see. Let's Hit the Road says hi to you, Mom.
Hi.
Let's see. Haircut Harry, could have you on here. I'll be wandering Ireland soonish, hopefully. What do you think is a must-see outside of Dublin? All of Ireland outside of Dublin. If you're going to go, rent a car from the airport in Dublin if you're flying in there, and then leave from the airport and go explore. Then when you come back, do Dublin at the end. Drop off your car at the airport, and then just take public transport into Dublin and do that. But if you're going to go right outside Kilkenny, if you don't have if you're only using public transport, Kilkenny is an easy day trip, or I spend a night there. Small town to visit right by there. But I usually like a nice little ring trip is you go from Dublin, get in the airport, hit Kilkenny, then go over to Galway, come down you're going down to the Ring of Kerry, but on the way you go through the Barron and you can see the Cliffs of Moher and do that. So then you get down to the Ring of Kerry, you come across Cork. I'm not a huge fan of, but you can go see the Blarney Stone in Blarney. But I like Kinsale, which is a small village just south of Cork. You go, that's there. Then you keep going around. You hit Waterford on your way, which most people just think of the Crystal. Actually, kind of a cool town. Go from there, then go up to Dublin. That's a nice little trip there. You can pull off. And even if you're not comfortable driving on the other side of the road, Ireland's an easy place to learn how to drive on the other side.
That would be.
So hope that can help you out, Haircut Harry. Cool.
Just watch out for the rocks on either side of the car.
Yes. Oh yeah, and in the mirror. Be careful. We have some videos on driving in the UK, so just watch some of those for some advice videos. I think we have like 2 or 3. Give you some tips. So, wait. Scott Neal, full marks to Disney, full no question asked refund. Can't see BAB and is easy. Yeah. So my buddy Scott, Scott, we drank with him in Edinburgh last year. Remember?
Oh yeah.
And Scott's a really good dude. We hung out in Edinburgh last year, and he was going to go to Disney. I think you were going to take your granddaughter, I believe. And he was heading down Disney, worried about that. Disney gave him all the money back. That's really great. That's nice. Some places have not been so nice with the refunds, especially now. You'll notice like airlines, for those of you that are thinking about canceling future trips, because like, oh, they're going to cancel my flight anyway, I'll just cancel it early. If you cancel it, they'll just be like, oh, here's some credit, e-credit. There will be some restrictions with your e-credit, what you can do with it. If they cancel it, then they have to give you a refund. If you're in the U.S., they have to give you a refund. It may take time, but you'll get your money back, and then you can decide how to spend that money. I mean, we already have enough e-credit, so when we got our email last week that our flight to Ireland was canceled, like, oh, we gave me the e-credit. I actually called Delta yesterday, and I'm like, hey, I appreciate the e-credit, but I already have enough e-credit. I'd rather have the cash, because I'll spend my money with you again. It's not a problem.
No,
like I fly with Delta all the time, so it's fine. You're going to get my money, but like I'd rather use that money for myself and do that. So Maxwell, the person I talked to, very friendly, very accommodating. He's like, there's 250,000 cases they're processing. They're only through April. It's going to take a little while till they get to your refund. I'm like, hey, that's fine. If I'm in the queue, I'm cool with that. They're like, okay, thank you very much. So, but I could tell that he had been yelled at a lot by people because he was like, and so there's a lot of people there, and we're working through this, and I'm like, dude, it's okay. It's okay. Just put me in the list. It'll get to it eventually. It'll be a nice surprise when it shows up back on the credit card. So there is that. So there's things. So Purdue points out TAP, that's the airline for Portugal, I think has an optional stayover in Portugal. We almost used them for that to do other destinations. Yeah. You have like Iceland Air will have like a layover in Iceland. TAP has it for Portugal, which I think was a really great idea by TAP to get people to pass through, especially if you're looking at coming from the U.S. because U.S. tourists do spend a lot more money when they travel than other nationalities. Not all nationalities, but in comparison, U.S. travelers are well liked because they shell out for the nicer hotels, more food. Yes, we're fat, but we eat a lot more food, which means we spend a lot more money. But that's one of those things. It's hard to compare. And so getting them to stay for 3 days in Lisbon can help out bring in more money. So you do have that.
Do you have any videos coming out on Germany and England?
I have a ton of videos. I have a ton of videos on the UK to come out, Stephen. I only have the mistakes of Germany left and a Hearts Mountains video left on Germany because we were going to be in Germany next Pardon me. Sorry about that. We were going to be in Germany next week together. So I was planning on filming a bunch of new Germany videos this next week for our stuff. And then so I'd put out all my Germany stuff except for the mistakes of Germany, which we filmed in Freiburg, and a Hearts Mountain, like the 511 Hates the Hearts Mountains, which we filmed in the Hearts Mountains. So I'll probably put those later on because right now people aren't really looking to prepare for travel. So what we're trying to do is give people like, okay, staycation, like I'm been filming some stuff for staycation things, road trips, beach travel, things near home. And then probably towards August, fall, we're going to start getting back to the travel planning kind of videos. Like we'll put out some don'ts, but like the don't shocks, the usual kind of stuff is going to start coming out then because I feel towards the end of the year, people are going to start planning traveling again because hopefully the numbers will go down. We'll have some hope for a vaccine or something or treatments so that people can travel again, or we have an idea of how people can travel again, and then people start doing that. So they'll be coming, Steven. So subscribe and stick around, and we'll be doing some stuff. Hey, Game from Revi in Denmark. We're hoping to get back to you next year. Oh, cool. Bill Simonson had a 24-hour layover in Shannon. Yeah, sometimes when you have these layovers that'll go over, like we had one and we came back, we went with Finnair to China and we went through Helsinki and over because it was so much cheaper. And on the way there, we got in the morning and we had the whole day in Helsinki to explore. Then we got on another overnight flight to China. So it was like 2 nights in a row sleeping on a plane, which sucked. But it was cool to see Finland. But on our way back, we got in the morning, and then our flight to the U.S. wasn't until like the next morning. So it was like an 18-hour layover. So we got a hotel. So we got in, dropped our stuff at the hotel, and then we went into Helsinki for the day. And it was a beautiful summer day. So we stayed there till like 7, 8 o'clock at night. We came back to the hotel, slept, got up, flew. It was real nice. So sometimes you get, sometimes you have really good opportunities with that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So John Anderson has a question. Mrs. Wolters, would you consider a guest spot on Jocelyn's channel? Well, she has. If you watched yesterday's video on the bucket, a drink she made, my mom pops up. Also, my mom's, if you watch the Portuguese chicken, grandma chicken, she's in that one too. But yes, she would definitely be on there. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so if you check out Jocelyn's channel, Simply Jocelyn, you'll see her pop up. And the thing is so Jocelyn has done, she did a bunch of drink videos with friends. She's done a few cooking videos with friends. So it's kind of fun because I think Jocelyn really enjoys, she likes doing the video. She's doing a good job with her videos. But I think she enjoys doing them better with friends because it's like a social kind of fun thing to do. So that is nice. Aloha, U.S. Marine Corps 22. Good to see you on here. Thank you for your service. Let's see. So, Mark Nestor, yeah, Colombia is in the cards for a future destination for sure.
I did get there many years ago.
Yes, I'm from Colombia. I was made in Colombia-ish, or off the coast of Colombia somewhere, apparently. I don't want to think about it. Anyway, let's see. Mr. Blind, what TV show are you watching? I'm watching Modern Family. Right now, we actually watch a lot of YouTube. So, like, Liam and I will do SciShow and Eons a lot. But we're watching the Great British Baking Show.
That's our family go-to show.
Yeah, whenever we come here, like we have the Netflix, and it's like we watch that when we're here. That's like our big thing we watch when we're here. Jocelyn, like Liam and Jocelyn will watch Father Brown Mysteries.
Yeah, I like Father Brown.
Father Brown. Yeah, it's on BritBox now. So. Purdue Delta just by marked that 32-inch monitor. If only Delta would do that. The thing is I had a really good relationship with Delta's Twitter team. Like they knew me because I would write them and stuff. We'd have this fun banter. But now I think they probably had to cut back on people because now it's just an automatic go to this bot to do it or call in. So it's sad because it was fun to like have that interaction with them. Sure. So I know they're hurting. So they're gonna be hurting for a while. Let's see. Let's hit the road, Jack. Do you guys speculate that things will be more normal for travel in early 2022? Yes. By then, we will have at least established a new normal, probably. Even if there's no vaccine or stuff like that.
What do you do for tired feet?
I put them up.
Just the comfortable shoes.
Yeah, get comfortable shoes. Be careful. And always break in your shoes before you travel. Don't just buy a pair and then take them with you because you're asking for problems. Don't be afraid to adjust your shoelaces because your feet will expand from all that walking to give them that space. But good shoes and socks will make a difference. Also, I like when I fly, I'll use compression socks. And if you're going to have a big, long day of walking, sometimes compression socks will help for that too. Even though you're not sitting, it just makes it more comfortable. Hey, Rufy in the Philippines. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Mr. Blom, I'm from the town which has the spiciest curry. Well, Mr. Blonde, I will have to try that. And then pray for me.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I used to love super spicy stuff, but over the years I've gotten less able to take it. But I did beat Caleb in our spicy noodle challenge, so I felt like I still have hope.
Oh, the Henry Ford Museum.
Wow, Michael Mann, I walk a lot when I travel, 25,000, 35,000 steps a day, and find it's about prep before you go and a lot of stops to sit during the day. Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah. The prep, because remember we talked to Dad about that. Like we got when we were going to go to Africa and we were going to do big Europe trips, we always get my dad walking around more because just preparing yourself. And I know you might live in a place that's really flat or really hilly. It's going to be different terrain where you're going to go, but just getting used to the walking and the amount of walking that you're going to do. And especially if you're going around with kids, Because if you take your kid who's used to, like, I run around the front yard and I play Nintendo, the walk is going to get them like, but if you go for like just a family walk, then they're used to that. And so like you plan it out ahead. It's kind of like with jet lag. You plan it out ahead. Like, let's go to bed a little bit early for a couple of weeks before we go, just so we're used to it or whatever, or get up later or whatever.
Walking a lot when you know you're going to be walking.
Yeah, and also if you're going to if you're going to China where there's a lot of squat toilets, work on your deep knee bends and stuff like that. You're stretching out because sometimes I know people that actually get in better shape just to go travel, and then of course they eat and enjoy themselves all the time. It ruins it all, but they feel better about it when they go. So something to think about. Liz from Means to Travel, Mark and Kathy, do you have any tips for? You got to say who said it first. That was a Liz.
I'm sorry, Liz.
Sorry, Liz. I was answering all your questions, not realizing. My bad. Purdue is saying, hey, if you like Christmas, Frankenmuth, Michigan is a nice place. Yeah, so Frankenmuth really looks like it's straight out of Germany. They've made it that way, which is funny because Purdue, we've been talking about Frankenmuth so much that I know that the computer's listening to me because I've been getting the Frankenmuth like ads in my Facebook feed and my YouTube channel lately. So they're listening. They're listening to us. Excuse me. Yeah, and Purdue, the Henry Ford Museum and Village is really we need to go there. Game Frog Reva, yes, we are coming back to your country, Denmark, after the virus. We're actually bring the kids. That's our rough idea for a spring break trip is to come back there, but we'll see how things work. So
the yoga with Gail says you definitely wear your compression socks if you're going to do a lot of walking.
Yeah, they're great. And the thing is I will use compression socks any flight that's over like 3 hours. I'll put them on just because some people feel they're I find them very comfortable. And really they actually do really help. Like they do really help. And also like I had some from Duluth Trading Company I liked, and they had thin ones that were some of them had like thicker ones in the winter, and some people won't use them when they fly. I use them when I fly, but then someone's like, look, these are good socks. Like I'm gonna use these for a big walking day too. And Michael Mon was right, taking a break here and there, and we'll plan it out. Like we'll we know we're gonna walk a lot in the morning, then we're gonna take a coffee break and just sit and relax. Because you don't want to overdo it where you're point like I can't walk anymore, then you're done. It's like look, you just got to take that break. It's like the old Excite Bike game on Nintendo. If you overheat, you have to wait, but if you slow down, hey, you can keep going. So you find those little things. So like with the kids, like in Italy, hey, you guys want gelato? Because I know the boys I see they're starting to get like, we'll get a gelato. We'll just sit here. So you got you got 10, 15, 20 minutes just chilling out.
Enjoy it.
Yeah. And so sometimes we'll just stop and have a beer. Or we'll have a tea or something like that. Just depends where you're at. Let's see. Bill Simonson, which city has the best and easiest public transport? I think London has the best. So London is not the cheapest though. Their prices takes them out of the running for the best. I think for big cities, Berlin with the subway, above ground train, and buses is really good, and the price for a day ticket isn't too bad. Where else has got some good? New York's got some good stuff. You're right. I mean, London's got good stuff. You don't need it. Like, there's big cities you don't like. New York, London. I wouldn't say Chicago, but New York, London, Berlin. Lisbon's actually got decent public transportation. There's a lot of places that you don't really need to worry about it, but other places you really need to use it. They might have public transportation, but it takes you so long to get there. Like where I live, they actually have awards for all the buses they have, but the buses don't really go in a way that really helps you. So you always have to transfer, and it doesn't really help. So it's kind of an interesting thing. Yes, let's hit the road. We do have videos from China. I taught there a few summers ago, more than a few summers ago now. But yes, we have some videos from when I was there. Let's see. Hi, Mark. Greetings from Seoul, South Korea. Nice. I went to a place where you can see North Korea on the other side with binoculars. Yeah. My dad used to actually work in South Korea back in the day. Never took us. We're not bitter. But yeah, cool. No, we're hoping to get to South Korea maybe when I have to do if the coronavirus stuff is kind of contained and we can go do stuff again, it's going to be me and the family's going to go to Japan and then go to South Korea. But if it's only slightly contained, then I'll be going to Japan by myself. So we probably won't get to South Korea that time. But the idea is to hopefully get there. Marcus, welcome back to Ottawa. Yes, we will get back to Ottawa one of these days, I'm sure. Let's see.
There's talking about some different socks. Means to Travel had a brand she recommended, and yoga.
Huge sock and Skechers. Skechers are a great combo for long walks. Yeah.
But
yes.
Sorry. That's all right.
Okay, so Game Frog Revy says, hey, when I'm from Denmark, it seems strange that tourists want to come here. Is there a specific reason why you like it here? You know, that's a really good question. It was just something about it. I just dug it. Like everyone had their own thing. It was funny. I was doing a video about how the Danes don't ask how you are because they don't care because you're not part of their life. And I was doing the explanation, and when I finished, this guy comes up and goes, you know what? You did a great job explaining that. It's like, not that I hate you, I just don't care because you're not part of my life. I'm like, thanks, man. You know, and he's like, yeah. And he walked off, you know, because it's just like, hey, that's the way it is. So, but I don't know. I just had a nice time when I was there. Yeah, do yoga with Gail. Hey, Mark. When we get back to some kind of normal, how about now? I want to revisit Austria outside of Vienna, which is beautiful. What should we see? What's a do not miss? So Salzburg and Innsbruck are the two bigger cities that are not miss. Hallstatt's a gorgeous town. To check, like village kind of stuff to go to, especially if you stay overnight, because a lot of tourists just bus in and leave because it is kind of small. Those would be the ones I would recommend the most to go when you're there. Oh, the Christmas and Frankenmuth is year round. Oh, I had no idea. That's why they're there. Let's see.
They get to take advantage of Christmas. Yes.
Yeah, Scott Neal, £6 unlimited public transport to Berlin for the day. Yeah, €7, €8, something like that. Yeah, you can't beat it. And it goes everywhere. Oh, John Anderson, thank you very much. Please please hit the like button. For those who don't know, when you do live feeds, at least on travel channels, there's a reason why you'll see some travel channels, they might do a live feed and they don't leave it up because live feeds actually hurt your subscriber base. Like I would guess that I will lose 100 subscribers today just because we did a live feed, because going throughout all of our live feeds, I've actually looked at numbers and we on average lose 100 subscribers every time we do a live feed. But what's cool is we get to meet new people, so who cares? So it's nice to have you that are on here. Let's see. I like boots, flight socks. Yeah, those are not too bad. Morning Mark from Brisbane, Australia. Very nice. Up by the Red Cliffs. I think that's up by there. Yeah, so hopefully we'll get down to see you. Whenever we can travel again. Hope you're doing well. Aussie Night 44. Oh, Eric Svart's on here? I missed him. Where's Eric?
Yeah, no, Eric's there. Yeah.
Oh,
He's
hey. Yeah, sorry, Eric. I didn't say hi. My bad. So lots of good stuff. Emperor King, good to see you back. Oh, I just talked to you about the Ottawa stuff. Yeah, Innsbruck and Salzburg are both easy to get to from Munich. Yeah. Salzburg, you can actually use the Bayern ticket. It'll get you there. It's about an hour and a half train ride. Very simple ride to do. Down to Innsbruck, it was like 3 hours, 2 hours. You were there last year?
Yeah, it was like an hour and a half.
No, it's
2 hours.
So it's not too. It's not that far. So it's easy to do. So you can fly into, like, you don't need to fly into Vienna. You can fly into Munich and see those two and go around that way. Thank you. Let's see. Oh, bye, Katie Smith. Good to see you. Rodolfo, olá meu amigo no Brasil. Tudo bem? Good to have you on here. Oh, we're at our 2 hour mark. So that's where we start to wrap things up a little bit. But let's get the last few questions in here, and then we'll head off for the day so you all can enjoy a beautiful summer day or winter day, depending where you are, or evening. Our buddies in Australia. Oh, Qing Dynasty, I would love to go back to Xi'an. I love Xi'an. Xi'an is my favorite town. Favorite in China. See, with 7 million people, seems like a town after you live in Beijing or Shanghai. But yeah, it's really cool there. My random life ASMR, do you think travel will be prohibited unless vaccinated? I think what you'll see is some countries require vaccinations like you have for yellow fever vaccinations and stuff like that. I can see that coming, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. There's that. Game Frog Heavy. Yeah, we're going to have to meet. You're awesome. Yeah, Danish people sort of like their own friend circle. I've been watching your explanation about Denmark. I think it's so funny and a good job explaining it. And we're a bit strange happy. Yeah, exactly. So thanks, man. I appreciate it. Let's see. Oh, TMCB from Portugal. Planning a 10 to 12 day trip from Chicago to Toronto. Any detour worth doing like Cleveland, Detroit, or Pittsburgh? Thanks. Purdue has been helping me out here. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so you're going to Chicago, Toronto with 10 to 12 days. I would probably go through Detroit going over, because Detroit's made a nice little comeback, and so it'd be kind of cool to see. And because when you're in Toronto, then you could go from Toronto, you can go to Niagara Falls and see that instead of going around Cleveland that way. I think are you flying? If you're flying out of Toronto, flying into Chicago, flying out of Toronto, I would go fly to Chicago, then go from there to Detroit. You can go to like Indiana Sand Dunes Park if you want to, but go into Detroit from there. If you want to go up into Michigan, like Traverse City or Mackinac Island, Mackinac Island is probably better for like a really tourist destination to go see in Michigan, and then going down. I mean, it's a lot of driving, but going down to Detroit from there, then crossing over from Detroit. I think you get Windsor, Ontario on your way to Toronto.
Yeah.
Spend some time in Toronto. Then if you want to do a day trip to Niagara Falls, you can, then fly to Toronto. That's what I kind of recommend. So I hope you have a fun time.
Yeah.
Let's see. Best country to visit in the UK. Our family's from Scotland, so that's my answer.
We could be kind of prejudiced there.
Yeah, so there is that. Let's see. Cool. Thanks to Let's Hit the Road, Jack. Good. Thanks for checking out the videos on China. Yeah, Purdue points out the Amish country in Indiana. It is like we have friends visit, they like to go visit. We have Amish south of us, and so you can go see some of their stuff. So it's nice. Tymarine, hey, Bangkok time, Tymarine. Oh, cool. Well, welcome. Hey, Mark, where would you go in the world to just throttle back and enjoy yourself? I don't even know. Just chill out on any piazza in Italy. Or for some reason lately, like the last couple of weeks, I've just been like fiending to go get a cabin in Montana on a lake somewhere and just be like, screw it, I'm done. Give me a week. Like, I'm going up there, no electronics, take a guitar book, and just like, I'm just chilling. I think that's what I'd probably want to do right now with all this craziness. I have not been to Faroe Islands, sadly. So, yeah, Warren Dunes. Yeah, Warren Dunes is a nice one. Yeah, Mackinac Island's kind of a drive. Very true for that. But we are going to wrap it up here for today. I want to say thank you to our lovely guest, Kathy.
Thank you.
And Jocelyn says hi, I'm sure. We will be back for a live feed for everybody on Whiskey Wednesday on August 5th at 8 p.m. Chicago time. For our members and patrons, we will have a live feed on the 1st of August. No, not the 1st of August. Yeah, the 1st of August. I think it's the 1st of August. So we'll have a lot, but we'll post about that and superheroes and other stuff. But I want to wish everyone a great day. If you can hit a like before you take off. Yes, Bora Bora would be very nice, Purdue. But if you hit a like before you take off, we'd appreciate it. Wish you all the best. And enjoying watching some more YouTube videos or whatever you like to do today. Just want to say thank you. And
thank you.
Yeah, and have yourself a great day. Bye, everyone.